As I suspected, 32 flavors.
What?
Hello, guys. Welcome
Hello.
to the 30th episode of Toxic Tuesday. Rather than just let all the fellas roll up all up in here, I decided to just keep them all with me. But yeah, it's crazy to believe that this is the 30th one, and now we have our another official Toxic Tuesday of the Toxic Ones, Mr. Yeti Cast himself. Dustin's not here tonight, but he'll be back maybe next week, if not 2 weeks at most. But either way, we're going to have a fun time tonight. And Mad will be here when Mad Morgan will be here. If not, well, we got this show covered. But chat, how's it going? Let's see here. We got six. How's it going? Six in drums and rock and roll. Mead Raid. Monster Huntress Room. Hello. What's up, Naked Fame? I see you there. Dragon Master, what's up? How you doing? D Bud Martin. How you doing? All right. So, anyways, yes, tonight we're doing a little bit of a wild one. Yeah, I see Rob Altus. We have a little bit of a wild one. We're doing a lesser known flick from the mid 90s. It was titled Rumble in the Bronx. And this is obviously starring Jackie Chan. And this is weird because, like, this was one of the first R-rated movies I ever saw, which at the time I didn't know it was R. It was just, to me, just a movie filled with a ton of action. So then I learned later in life that it was R, and I'm just like, what? What the fuck,
why?
dude?
It doesn't feel like an R.
No.
And if you compare this to like a Die Hard or something, like this is awesome, but it doesn't have that R feel to me.
No, it doesn't. So anyways, Yeti Cast, why don't you tell anyone who may not know about you here in the chat for Toxic Tuesday. Go ahead and introduce yourself. I know you're on your essay, but in case someone missed you.
Oh God. Okay. So I'm YetiCast. You can find me on YouTube at YetiCast and on Twitter and a bunch of other social media things that I can't remember. There's too many. But I do movie roasts and I do recut trailers and all that fun stuff. I'm going to try to get back to regular streams again. But yeah, go check me out. All about the comedy.
All right, killer. Awesome. And Mark D with a C, how are you doing today?
Doing most excellent, thank you. Yeah, just looking forward to really talking about this movie. Yeah, it's
good.
Maybe
good,
doesn't
good.
get some of the credit it deserves, but yeah, you can find me at. I'll post my link if someone has that. Yep. So I do a lot of toy reviews, pop culture. I'm on with Clobbering Times and Raquel Briggs on Thursday night, and a lot of like retro toys and fun stuff, and then pop culture, and popping up on different shows. So yep, appreciate anyone who would sub to me. Yep.
All right, awesome. Thank you. Jesse, how are you doing? I know we were just together on Midnight's Edge a few minutes ago. That was a very fun panel, by the way, dude. That was ridiculous.
Oh, look at you guys, Mr. Big Shots.
I don't know. It made me laugh.
So how you doing, Jesse? How's your week?
Yeah, it's pretty chill.
All right.
That's how it's going. Getting addicted to video games again. Like I'm a teenager. I'm enjoying it.
Nice. Glad to hear. Awesome, dude. 70s, how you doing, man?
Oh, I'm doing great, buddy. I'm having a good week. Fantastic week. Yeah. Things are groovy. I just watched the Dallas Stars win a game 5-1, so, And I'll be at a Dallas Stars game for the first time in, God knows, 2 to 3 years this coming Friday. So
That's cool.
It is.
Hockey is exciting, especially.
Dude, hockey games are fun.
Long last getting back to the Stars. But
let's go Rangers.
It's the one true sport.
Yes, there was a great fight as well. It's Hackenpah knocked McLeod out. One actually knocked him onto the ice and blood, and he won that fight. I think Stars player. But I had a great week. I had a great stream with Purple Valkyrie Monday morning about Meatloaf, and then I had my weekly stream yesterday where I know you weren't appearing, Nick, on it like you were in my last show last week, but I had a substitute guest, Culture Casino, so not the same as you, buddy, obviously, but he was okay.
Culture's great. I love Culture Casino.
Nothing can match you, though.
Stop it, dude. Shout out to Culture Casino, by the way. You all in the chat you all know who he is, but
He's a great
All
guy.
right, we're gonna welcome a gentleman here. He's in the center up above, Mr. Imperitus. He is new to the YouTube ballgame. He has been listening to us on the Yelling at Park Cars streams, and he's getting a channel of his own. He actually has a background in radio, college radio, I think, to be specific. Imperitus, internet radio. Why don't you tell us, everyone in the chat, about yourself?
Longtime geek. I was geek long before it was cool. I can say that much for sure. I remember quite a few ass kickings. Metalhead, gamer, gunpla builder. Just my hobbies are kind of varied, and when I get into something, I get into something. You know, I try to dig into it. You know, considering the topic we're going on today, as one of my friend's Chinese wife put it, I have way more kung fu movies than any Caucasian ever should.
Oh,
Well, you're an interested person.
yeah.
You can say that, yeah.
Killer.
That's a
awesome,
good thing.
dude. Well, hey, when you can, send me a link to your channel in the private chat so we can, get people to start noticing you. And and then before you know it, you're gonna start be posting content of your own soon. So glad we can introduce you on here. I know you got quite a voice for this, and well, let's get the show rolling on Rumble in the Bronx. So I'll start with me. First time I saw this, as I said earlier, I didn't realize it was R. Like, obviously, with the brutal violent scenes, that's probably, someone mentioned in the chat, it's probably why I got the R. But it was just a fun Jackie Chan, action movie, really cheesy, very shamelessly over the top, very super basic plot. And for me, that's a lot of my, I love those type of flicks. It's almost like, oh, hey, you took my dog, I need your revenge. It's, hey, you took down my store, now I need to fight back for it. So I love it. It's just like, don't let the story be the logic and reasoning. It's just go with the action and have a good time. And it made me obviously very aware of Jackie Chan and his amazing talents. I'm like, whoa, this guy's awesome. And just being wowed by the moves when I was a kid and coming back to it many, many years later, I realized, wow, this movie not only does the action hold up, but it had a lot of, I guess you could say, progressive elements before progressive was this buzzword that's not used in Hollywood. Because you had Keanu's uncle who was married to the one lady. I'm like, say, look at that. You had all this quote unquote diversity and all the current buzzwords. It was all there, and it was prominent, and it was upfront. It wasn't like they can't say, oh, it was like second fiddle, it was portrayed in bad light. Here you saw it all being portrayed in a great positive light. So I don't know what
Well, here's the difference, Nick.
Yeah.
They don't slap you in the face with it. It's just there. Like it's just there. It's just in the story, and they don't go as there's no scene where the guy's being told is like, oh, now I gotta take part in Black Lives Matter rallies or stuff like that. It's just he loves someone who happens to be another race, and that's cool. That's it. That's good. That's what diversity on screen should be, No,
agreed, man. Agreed. So Yeti, why don't you just say you saw this movie for your first time ever? Why don't you talk to us about here in the chat and the panel what your initial thoughts were?
Well, it's an awesome movie. I had not heard of this one before, and I like Jackie Chan, but man, that guy does not get the respect he deserves. Not even close. When you actually watch him, and especially in his prime, the guy is doing some crazy stunts, and he's doing them all himself. There's no stunt double that's taken his place. No, every single move you see, he's doing. He's doing everything. And I swear, I was starting to say backstage, I think one of the reasons he doesn't get that type of respect is because when he became mainstream in Hollywood, he was taking on some more child-friendly movies. There was the Tuxedo and maybe, what's it?
The one
High
where
Noon?
he was twins.
Shanghai
Noon.
Shanghai Noon.
Yep.
Okay, there's a couple other that I know I'm missing right now.
I think it's a cross between him playing to a more family audience as well as that. I mean, he busted out in America with Rumble in the Bronx, but after you see what he did in this movie, it became a thing of it's almost like going to a horror movie to see the cool killing, as you're going to the Jackie Chan movie to see what this guy is going to do next.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, I see a ladder. He's probably going to beat somebody up with that ladder.
Oh, yeah.
Or he's going to do a backflip off that building. What's going to happen? What's he going to do?
And he still did those things in the child-friendly movies, but it wasn't to I don't know, the same maybe badass extent. You know,
it wasn't to
as
serious ends. It was for comedic effect.
Yes, and I think that ultimately hurt him, because if he didn't take those roles, he would just be just this crazy good martial artist. And the stunts and choreography they're fantastic in this movie. I can't believe I hadn't seen it.
Right? It makes you think like, what did I miss type of thing. Yeah. It makes me think like when I was rewatching, I was just like, how did I not have more rewatches of this over the years? How? I don't understand this, but okay, God, here I am watching it now. It's so good, dude. So good.
And awesome. Just to touch on the one thing you were saying about the simple plot.
Yeah.
I actually don't have a problem with that, because I think sometimes the simple ones are better because they're grounding it, you know. So John Wick, they killed his dog, but like that's grounded in something that a normal person would feel. Like somebody takes out their dog, what do they want to do? Well, John Wick has the skills, and in this case, somebody's, you know, screwing with their shop. What do they want to do? So there's this more realistic feel to it that brings you in, and you're just like, you're rooting for the guy because he's the everyman that, you know, got beaten on or wronged, but he's taking it back. And so that like simplicity just resonates so strongly.
Do you see the Bruce connection with this being a lot like Return of the Dragon? Just substitute rival.
I'd have to rewatch that just to make that comparison.
It was a Chinese restaurant in Italy, and the Italian mobster gangster guys were strong arming it. So of course he has to do some sweet moves.
Eddie, did you have anything else you want to add before I move on to another gentleman?
No, like I think I covered like the major points that I was thinking of at the very start. So
yeah,
let somebody else jump in.
Sounds good. 70s. Why don't you talk to us about your experience? I don't know whether it was then or was this a new one for you?
Well,
where do you stand?
This I watched this again today, and it was only the second time I've ever seen it, and the first time I saw it was on VHS in the late 90s. Because this didn't really get a big cinematic release in the UK. I mean, it took 2 years for it to hit any cinemas in limited form, after 2 years after it was released in its original Hong Kong and then America. So I'd seen it on VHS. I watched it again here, and it was great to watch it with those fresh eyes. I mean, that's 22, 23 years ago, whatever. And to actually appreciate some of the things I hadn't realized before. First of all, they shouldn't have called it Rumble in the Bronx. They should have called it the Groover in Vancouver. Because you can clearly see the Vancouver Hills mountains in the background.
Even when they try to sell you with the New York police cars and the license plate.
They did a good job with the New York plates, but yeah, so you can see all those, that lovely bay, English Bay, and then the mountains in the background. Nothing wrong with that. It was beautiful. They did a great job. But I did read some rolled reviews of it, and one said, rather harsh review, freed from the restraints of plot and character, Rumble in the Bronx is the distilled essence of action entertainment. A little bit harsh, I would say, but
very harsh.
Yeah, it's a little bit harsh,
harsh.
But yeah, the last bit, the distilled essence of action entertainment, I thought was spot on, because it really is. I had not realized or remembered just how entertaining it is, and I didn't know it was an R either. I mean, that's surprised me. So the thing about Jackie Chan is I see him as the successor to the old silent movie guys like Harold Lloyd, Charlie Chaplin. The way he acts, this is why he's.
I can see that.
Yeah, he's not an action hero in the same mold as a Schwarzenegger or a Stallone. He's got more of that Chaplin-esque thing. It's very skillful what he does. No one else can do it, I don't think. He's very cute. You just kind of want to he's just kind of cute, you know. He's a lovely
See,
guy.
here's the progressiveness right here.
Yeah.
Progressive
Well,
right here, ahead of its time.
This bit, I was thinking she was going to eat him alive because she absolutely adored him.
Yeah.
So, oh, he's in trouble here. This is, but
He was a little shocked there. Yeah.
So he's
Some of these,
got
I
this.
like what you say about him being a lot like Chaplin because he does have
Yeah.
that kind of stiff manner. He had expressive face, but he's not really stiff. He's really fluid.
That's right. And those guys could do
That's a really good point.
fantastic stunts, and yet they weren't, you know, big muscle-bound action guys. He's got that combination of the fantastic martial arts skills, and he's got the comic timing of a silent movie star. And you know, there's no implement is safe. There's no furniture is safe. No clothing is safe. No food is safe. No kitchen appliance is safe. Nothing is safe. Anything can be used as a weapon, defensively or offensively. He's the master of that. I didn't realize just how good he was. But look at that beautiful smile.
Look
he's
at the poses too.
Yeah, he's like the friendly action hero. And
Just one thing, I just wanted to jump on before I forgot. The diversity in the movie, that's what we want to see. This is what at least I've been talking about the entire time. Like this movie, nothing is hitting you. It's just it's there, and it's part of the story. It feels natural. There's no like
right.
giant crazy message that's, you know, bugging you or being shoved in. It's like, okay, yeah, it's
That's right. It doesn't hit you over the head with it. It's natural. It's built into the plot, and as a result, it flows over you. You think it's great. You don't. Nobody could object to that. But I think
you even got the strong female that's running the business.
Yeah, she owns the business, dude. And
Yes.
you're totally sold on it. You're totally with it.
So just a couple of other quick things that I noticed. One is that even the Western actors in it seem to have dubbed their English voices.
Oh, it's all dubbed.
Which is
Everyone
weird.
was dubbed. Everyone
Even
was
the English
redubbed for
speakers
this.
dubbed their English.
Yeah.
Which is weird. And then I'm not quite sure if the health and safety people ever got a look at that tiger in that nightclub because
Oh my god!
either the tiger was in danger from the dancers or the dancers were in danger from the tiger. Somebody was in danger there, I think. But anyway, how did they do that?
Yeah. All
Anyway,
right.
great. I loved watching. It was so entertaining. It's just it's pure entertainment.
But this is what we're missing right now: that entertainment factor.
Agreed.
Like, I don't know if you'd call this a straight up popcorn flick, but like I was entertained the entire time. It was just it was fun. There's no point where I thought like, oh, nobody would do this, and you know,
Why
like,
is
what
this guy
terrible
getting
writing
chased
choices.
by motorcycle guys like a video game?
Yeah,
Yes.
Why?
Oh, shout out to
Dustin.
Dustin. What's up, Dustin?
How are you, buddy?
Shout out to Keto Simple, guys. If you're ever looking for a good alternatives as far as dieting goes, Dustin is he's one of our frequent Toxic Tuesday panelists. In the I know most of you in the chat know he is, but in case you don't, he is a man who started a plan with his life, and he stuck with the plan for quite a few years now, and he started a channel off of it, and he's been doing very well. So shout out to Dustin and Keto Simple. So hope you're doing well, bud, and we can't wait to have you back on when you can. Thank you for dropping in. All right, so we got.
Oh, I got. Sorry, I got to interrupt here for 1 second.
Yeah, no, go ahead.
I apologize. There's a scene
No,
coming
go
up.
ahead.
Watch when he slides down the stairs. He's wearing sneakers.
Oh,
and, not the stairs,
and
the
weird
ladder.
outfit.
In the ladder, yeah. And he gets out of bed wearing sneakers. I mean, just little things in this movie don't make sense, but in a couple of frames, I just wanted to point that out before it comes up. But,
You've got to willingly suspend your disbelief, or as he does in this scene, suspend his willy with disbelief because he's in the room. Oh, I forgot to say.
All right, hold up.
Jackie
Ryan
Chan is the best
Yes, he
at
is.
recovering from a knee to the groin.
Oh my God! Right? No, is he ever? We'll get to that. Brian,
Well,
here-
Iron Egg training.
Yes, Brian here for $20 says it's been a while since I watched Rumble in the Bronx. Jackie made me realize that good action is redneck ballet. Oh, that's so.
this is the best thing I think of
That
It's
ever ballet.
remarkable. It's a
It's-
remarkable demonstration of athletics and choreography. Brian, that comment is absolutely freaking hilarious, and thank you very much for that $20. That's a very, generous
It is a
donation.
perfect,
Thank you,
perfect
sir.
comment.
Such a funny comment.
You know, between the cars, the guys on the motorcycles, and all the other crazy shit going on, this looks exactly like a Grand Theft Auto movie.
Mm-hmm. No, totally, dude, totally. And I love how Yeti was mentioned earlier, how it's totally like I like you could tell this came from the 90s, like with all the biker gangs. There's always people at like big raves and rock concerts, underground style in the 90s and 80s, and that they really captured that element well with this movie. You're like, oh hey, that's perfect.
There's the sneakers.
Well, the one thing, I never realized until recently watching all these old movies is how big of a problem these dirt bike gangs were in North America. Like, they're just everywhere.
On every street corner, yep.
Good thing there's Kung Fu underwear guy.
So, Mark, Mr. Panel Changer, why don't you tell us about your initial thoughts? If you saw it then, or
I saw it a long time ago. I don't think I saw it in movie theaters, but I think first time I had like a buddy came over, and we like kung fu karate movies, and he's like, "You got to watch this. This movie is so freaking awesome." And I'd watch Police Story with Jackie Chan and knew a little bit about him, he's really overlooked here, I think, in a lot of ways. Some people were saying at one point he was one of the bigger movie stars in the world, but worldwide, not in the USA. So this was his breakout movie here, I think. But yeah, if you haven't watched a lot of his movies, go check out Police Story and other just Google him and you'll see he's got some Drunken Masters, just a fantastic movie to watch. And my buddy, we were watching, it's like I couldn't believe all the what he does with all his the refrigerator scene and those fights and like 70s, everyone was saying he uses everything, and he is like I was thinking the same thing tonight. He's like a Buster Keaton or Charlie Chaplin. If you watch any of those old classic silent films, how they did all their own stunts, that famous stunt where Buster Keaton has the house fall on him and he's standing up and the whole house.
Jackie Chan
goes
is
through the
more
window.
He's more of a bust your knees in.
Yeah,
bust your knees.
Yeah. And then he does all the stunts, and he's just such an athlete too. I mean, you can see, you watch the reel at the end when he's showing all the stunts that he's done. And the movie, like everyone's saying, the movie's very simple. It's a basic, hey, good guy, fights the bad guys, the mafia or the mob or the gangs or whatever. But it's it's a feel good movie. Have a bunch of beers, eat your popcorn, enjoy it. And, it's set, of course, it's supposed to be in the Bronx, but it's, it's obviously not the Bronx in most of the scenes, but, it doesn't matter. It doesn't really take away, you can nitpick the movie, but it's just a lot of fun to watch. And of course, back then in the 90s, there was that huge, massive crime spike. I mean, about 2,200 people a year were getting murdered in New York City. So that was on your, so like, this was kind of a great, revenge or, fun way to say, hey, here's this one guy that comes in, he knows karate, and he's going to clean up that part of the neighborhood, almost like a superhero in some ways.
This has got to be the greatest moose knuckle ever recorded on cinema history.
It's a genuine roll of quarters.
Yeah. Yep. So I don't know if there's any special effects in this scene, just kidding, but so it's but the guy's in great shape. He's he's believable, right? When
very believable.
This movie, he's doing the stuff, he's doing the stunts, and then my
he's
buddy
not
was like,
overpowered either.
No, but he
because
doesn't skip leg day either.
like he gets hurt and he doesn't just blow his way through the gang, or I guess fight the way through the gang would be a better way to put that. He takes a beating because sometimes he's overwhelmed. Like you don't see that often.
Yeah, because like in the alley, you're watching it the first time, you're like, oh, he's going to climb up the wall like Spider-Man, or
that's what I
out of
thought.
it.
Yeah,
right. You think he's going to escape that alley, and he doesn't. Yeah,
because he's not superhuman. Like he is grounded. He's got these amazing abilities, and he's awesome at martial arts. But that can only take you so far.
Yeah, he's still human at the end of the day, and you see where his limits are. That even though he still has these amazing abilities, he's still also just one man. Ultimately, at the end of the day, so you see, it's like, okay, I can do all these things, but oh crud, this is where I'm literally, no pun intended, I'm cornered.
Can't get out.
I can't do anything about this, and I think that's probably
it's a great
one of my
scene, actually.
favorite scenes right now because
it's so awesome.
It grounds the hero in reality, and it's not making it into this unattainable like action hero.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he's
'cause
not. He's a cop as well, so he's not really trying to kill these guys when he's fighting them. He's really trying to defend himself and put them out of the action, but not.
No, I thought he faked being a cop. Like he was.
He
is actually
no,
a
he
cop.
is an actual cop. In
Oh,
Hong
okay.
Kong,
I think I missed
believe.
that.
Yeah,
I
I think maybe they
believe.
cut that. Did they cut? Yeah, they did cut that of the U.S. version. I think. Maybe I could be wrong, but yeah,
He did do a fake cop thing, but that was
Yeah.
just so he could
Yeah.
fake
Dude,
it, and
I
he didn't have a gun. Yeah.
I love this scene. You see
it's so
what
good.
Keon is made of, because obviously it's his character's name, Keon. You see him kick so much ass, and you like. I just feel like my adrenaline spike when I
Yeah.
see this scene. I'm just like, dude, like. Also, I kind of get the jizz, like, oh, like also like I want to do martial arts, even though I don't know shit about
Go
martial
start
arts.
training, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
But
I did
what's
find it
awesome about
ironic. Sorry, Mark. Go ahead.
But I was just gonna say what's awesome is comedic timing too, and like these fights are, he kicks ass, but they're fun kick ass. It's like the Drunken Master where he's having fun with this fight and he's using everything and he's got that charm. And I was watching Siskel and Ebert do a video review of this when it came out, and they both gave it thumbs up and they loved it. And they said, yeah, the plot is thin, but Jackie Chan's a star. You can see how he lights up the screen and he's fun and that smile and
he's so enticing to watch.
Yeah, and it's just, and he's having fun doing this, and he's like your friendly neighbor. He kind of reminds me of Spider-Man, like your friendly neighbor
and he
Spider-Man.
jumps off of a building.
Kick ass, like no one would expect Peter Parker to be able to do this.
I did
And
find
he
it
kicks
ironic
ass, right?
that they're stealing $20 worth of candy, and he causes about $1,000 worth of damage.
Yeah,
Nice red Charlie Brown shirt, by the way.
Charlie Brown, yeah. Take the
But
candy.
I think if
please,
this movie
please.
was made today, there's no way it'd get rated R. Like I
Oh,
don't
this
know
would be
what
standard
was
for
going on.
PG-13.
I assume
Yeah.
that the gang was into drugs.
And someone had mentioned in the chat, I can't remember who, but the wood chipper scene.
Oh yeah, that alone
that might have been the
brutal
one scene.
Okay,
That's
yeah. So that's you take that out, then it's got to be because they don't show blood. There's, not excessive gun violence or sex or anything like that.
Yeah.
Although the ladies in this are smoking hot.
Don't tell
No,
me.
I agree. Well, of course, what they show on TV now is a lot different. Back in the 90s, like, if you watch the TV show Bones, all this, the autopsies they show. And
Oh yeah,
I think standards have changed a lot. So I agree. Yeah, this would be a PG-13.
Could it have just
no
been
problem.
because of the martial arts? I mean, I don't know what the attitude to that was in North America in the 90s.
No, usually we
That's
don't
what I'm
have a
wondering.
problem with violence. We have a problem with sex in North America.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
yeah. It was usually a sex issue that got it as a rated R rather than violence.
yeah.
Anything else you got to add, Mark?
No, just if you haven't seen this, go watch this. I mean, I don't know how toxic this movie is, but it's
I'd
it's
say
just awesome.
Yeah.
There's some toxic stuff to it, yeah, but it's just
We'll get
he
to
is
that.
he is just so much fun, and just check out Jackie Chan. Like, go online and try to find where he's streaming, or just don't I shouldn't say ignore him, but just he deserves that respect, and everyone should be watching him and just appreciate he puts himself out. It's like a Tom Cruise, whatever you like, Tom Cruise or hate Tom Cruise, he goes
talent.
110%.
Yeah.
talent, and
Oh
he
yeah,
preps
goes
and
out.
trains, and and
He's
Jackie
one
Chan
of
is the
those
same
guys where
way.
he gives it his all. Like, regardless of where you stand on like ideology, no, he's got the talent and he makes sure he's going to deliver it to the audience. And if anything, since Tom Cruise got crazier, he's been doing more work. So, and I gotta respect that, especially with him pushing 60 soon.
Well,
That's-
you know what?
That's
If
for
you're crazy enough to be in a cult and know it, and you don't care, and you're crazy enough to hang off the door of a plane that was made in 1942 as it goes flying over a cornfield.
But it,
All right, I got one here from Mr. RC from the NYC, who's actually from NYC too. So for $10 says, "What's up, Nick? What's up, panel? What's up, chat? Sorry I'm late. Hope everyone's well. RC, you can be as late as you want. I appreciate your constant support on the channel. Thank you for the $10, and I cannot wait to try those bagels that you're going to send to me for a review. That is going to be amazing to do. Thank you, Jesse. Why don't you talk about your initial life experience with the Rumble.
Well, just like last week, it's super quick and easy. I saw it in the theater and it was awesome. Saw it on the VHS a whole bunch of times. And I remember watching this scene the first time, just waiting for that stack of Pepsis to eat it, which just did. And I just noticed because he's using stills that they're all open and empty.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Don't waste the Pepsi.
What up with that?
Don't waste a Pepsi. I'm like, where's my suicidal tendencies hat? I gotta let people know all I want is a Pepsi.
I guarantee I know what happened. They showed up with a stack of Pepsis on set, and the crew was like, "We'll handle it."
Oh damn! That's it. That's it for you, Jess.
Oh yeah. It just besides that, the physicality of this guy really striked me. Of course, it did because he was doing insane shit. But after this, I immediately found out that he already had a career. So I was able to go back and watch those movies, which was great. And like was already said, he's very much a white hat. And this movie is not toxic for the normal reasons. It's toxic in the way that he just manages to be so white bread, but he still exudes masculinity because he's firmly in control of all these assholes.
And he looks in the mirror and poses. I'd say that's unashamedly toxic.
But it's true masculinity.
Because like a superhero.
It's the people that don't have actual masculinity have to enforce themselves on others in order to get respect, rather than just being there and knowing your own capabilities and gaining the respect. Like, there's a very big difference. If you got to go beat someone, it's an entirely unmasculine act.
Agreed.
Because there's entire lack of confidence in order to be able to like deal with the situation. But he exudes masculinity because he is very capable.
The one thing I don't believe is that she just took all that as normal. Like, at least the white girl in the background is like, how the fuck did you just beat the crap out of like 8 people?
And this guy goes nuts too.
Yeah, like, serious.
Well, it's like a superhero, right? Really, I mean, that's the stuff. Yeah. So,
and then there's the guy to the left. He just pops up, and he's the only scene where you see him in the movie. It's like, where'd you come from?
He was stocking shelves.
Too. He's like a cheerleader, a hype man type of guy. He's like, you came in there, you kicked all that acid, wah wah wah. Like, and
he was
Breitbart,
the Pepsi can stacker.
Brian Barth asks his question. Hello, Jackie. Many years, dude. We're talking like, God, 40, maybe 50, 40s. I'd say at least 40 years, maybe 45. That'd be about around there. Definitely between 40 and 50, Brian Barth, to answer your question.
His first movie was 1962.
Oh my
That's a long
God.
time.
Yeah, as a child.
Oh, as a child. Okay.
All right.
No,
adult movie, I believe,
so he was
71.
born in so
I don't think that's
when
right, because I think he was doing
Fist of
stuff.
Fury in 72.
Oh, okay, I gotta look this up because I could have sworn he was doing stuff in China like way earlier than 62.
Well, he's got listed, the 60s. He's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 movies. Magnificent Monk is the last one in 69. Yeah, but I mean, he's been, he's a major star in Asia before he broke in here.
Well, IMDb says he has 592 titles over all the different categories.
Yeah.
And yes, commenting is dangerous. He was in Enter the Dragon. Yes, that is true.
Yep, and he fought Bruce Lee for about 3 seconds where he got back fisted like that.
It's Bruce Lee. I mean,
like a lot of his
come
old
on.
movies.
Yeah, Bruce Lee basically was just like break, Batman fist, toss like a rag doll. Next.
Anything else you wanted to add, Jesse?
Scripted.
Before I
No, it's just it's a terribly fun movie. If anybody's never happened to watch a Jackie Chan movie, watch this one. Watch the Rush Hour movies, the Shanghai movies with Owen Wilson. The guy's great fun.
It is.
The guy. He seems like a really nice guy in real life.
Keanu. No, I like with this Keanu. I like him because the character Keanu. That scene that we just saw. It's a scene where he goes up because he like a Peter Parker. He hears something going on. He's like, "Oh, what is that? I gotta respond to it." And ultimately, like what's something that would be a gullible Peter Parker move, it leads him to a trap. And I actually did not see this coming during my rewatch. I'm like, "Oh crap, that was a good setup," because this is where it leads to his brutality with the whole glass incident too. So I'm like, man, they really set him. That's a good setup to like
That was really
get him,
good
because
yeah.
they realize this guy is the real deal. We gotta prepare for this guy because they don't want to lose this guy again, because they felt embarrassed and humiliated. They all got beat up by one guy at a grocery store, and now here they are. They knew that they needed to strike back, and they needed to strike back harder. All right. He's been waiting very, very, very patiently, and I appreciate that, Mr. Imperatus.
Hey,
Why don't you tell us about the first time you saw this excellent movie?
I saw this in the theater when it came out.
Whoa.
Yeah, it just goes as a testament as to how old I am. Yeah, because I was 17 or 18 when this came out. I was just like a year out of high school.
Mm-hmm.
And it was cool for me because I grew up watching Kung Fu movies, like the old Shaw Brothers movies and Bruce Lee movies, because I grew up in the era where there was the USA Kung Fu Theater every Saturday morning on the USA Network. And other networks, same thing, it was like with Godzilla movies. It was either Kung Fu movies or Godzilla movies after Saturday morning cartoons, where I was. So it was cool seeing Kung Fu movies making a comeback. In that period in the 90s, we had a bunch of the Jackie Chan movies come out. We had some of the Jet Li movies get released over here. Some of them get released in the theater or straight to DVD or whatever. And it was cool seeing that come back. I personally think this movie did well for him because Kung Fu was on a hiatus for a good 10 years or so at this point, if not longer, as far as popularity. But all of his other movies that people might have seen were more Kung Fu than action comedies. And there's also a lot of them that were advertised as Jackie Chan movies where he was just a common thug, or like case in point with, it was never happened with Enter the Dragon, but a scene like Enter the Dragon where he's in it for all of 3 seconds at the time, especially when this came out too, even more so. All his old, like, I guess you could say cameo movies were advertised as Jackie Chan movies.
Yep. But you know what? He might be in a lot more stunts.
Yeah. I mean, the stunt
That's
work in
about
this
it.
is phenomenal. That fight scene in the grocery store is my favorite fight scene in this movie. Because it's got
And
the
this
most.
is so cool. The fence. Oh my god, when he's going.
Dude,
Yeah.
this
Sorry,
blows
yeah.
my mind. No, Mark, I'm glad you mentioned
You
this.
see
Scene
the
is
barbed
so
wire up
good.
top there?
Yeah,
Oh,
he's so good, and it's all him. You can tell it's all him. I mean,
There's so often when he does a stunt, like people come up to him afterwards and like, wait, we could have set this up so it's not so dangerous. I can't remember which movie it was, but it was one of the ones where a big North American release, and he's jumping into this ice cold water, and like he just does the scene, like he actually jumps into the ice. It's frozen water, like he's doing all that, and then later on, like some stunt directors like, Jackie, we can make it look cold without it having to be cold, but no, like that's not how the guy worked. He did everything real.
A lot of his older movies, like prior to this, like from what I've heard somewhere, a lot of the budget for Super Cop or Police Story, whatever you want to call it, was the initial scene on the little village on the hill. A lot of the budget went there, and a lot of the budget went to the end scene in the mall with all the fake glass.
See, Jackie Chan's just like, why you spend all this money and make it look real? I just make it real.
see, they literally got to save money, and they still maintain quality. See, you can save money and maintain quality, and this was proof of that.
That scene right there just screams the 90s.
Oh,
Yep.
I know, dude.
Oh,
With that, just the
hair,
hair. You got
everything.
the Liberty
Just the gang,
spikes,
the
the
whole
gang,
look of
the
the
way the
gang.
gang looks like.
they had the Boba Fett scooters, right, with the lights on them.
Oh, there's
Girls-
guys rocking the Return of the Jedi Han's
Those girls look
overtight.
far too clean cut, though. That's
Girls
all.
wearing a silver jacket.
But all the punk groups always had some really hot girl that really didn't fit in.
Yeah, oh, that's true. They always had like the one or two that stood out, and they just like to be. It's kind of like the whole opposites attract thing. They like to be with the rebels and the rebellious because they're attracted to the bad boys type of thing.
I love
See,
that
oh
stuff.
god, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
That was a good capture. Yeah.
Oh, dude, no,
shot, yeah.
great capture.
That guy was
Dude,
funny.
Yeah, this
This-
scene is awesome.
Oh, dude, I felt
Honestly-
the intensity in this scene.
I doubt they used fake bottles. Like, just knowing Jackie Chan, they probably collected a bunch of bottles out back and then threw them at him. Like,
it all depends on actually who made this movie. If this was a Hong Kong production, I would agree with you. But if this was an American-made production, there's no way in hell they would do that.
oh, I don't know, because in the American-made productions, he was jumping into freezing water. Like, we're talking ice cold, way below zero water. And,
yeah,
like,
but you can plan that whole thing. You can't plan how glass is going to shatter.
I wonder if we
'cause you
could
could
find
lose
this
him for the
out.
movie. Yeah, I mean, it looks really real. A testament to how they did it.
That
So,
blood coming down behind his ear looks real.
Oh yeah, and who knows? Maybe I don't know. Maybe some of the cuts he got that maybe led to blood.
You use real bottles.
Someone in the chat will let us know, right? They'll find out. Yep. But I mean, it's just believable though. You believe that it's happening to him. So it's not, there's no CGI here, right? There's no CGI
No.
Jackie Chan leaping across tall
I
buildings.
mean,
When I found out he did that stunt,
yeah.
I was like, "What are you kidding? He actually did that? Are you crazy?" I'm like, "Do you guys know if there was anything, to catch him? Was there, anything? Was he, dying if he didn't make that jump or?"
Probably.
Probably.
I mean, it's just there's no wire on him, right, for that jump.
No,
I
the
don't
wire
think
would have
so, right?
screwed up. The wire would have screwed him up doing the jump.
Because Tom Cruise broke his leg a couple of movies ago, right? He was jumping between buildings and he didn't.
Yeah, Mission Impossible Fallout.
He had a wire on, I think. Though obviously, at this, at that point, you could see the.
Oh yeah,
Take,
but after he broke his ankle, then he went and he finished the scene by sprinting on the broken ankle.
Oh fuck!
Like he didn't stop once it broke. No, he kept it going until it was cut.
And then the
Wow.
assistant came and got the wheelbarrow he carries his balls in.
Brian Yoda here says,
Oh,
no,
it is.
Jack
There
is
was
all
no wires.
CGI, cinematically generated image.
Right? Yeah. Good one, Brian.
No,
he
well
doesn't
stated.
even exist.
No, Chan made the impressive 28-foot jump on his own without wires or a harness.
Yeah,
Jesus Christ!
and all on his
insane.
first try too.
Well, you don't get a
It's
chest
not
like
even like
You
it
don't
was
get a
onto
second
another
try.
rooftop. It's not even like it was onto another rooftop. It was off of a rooftop onto a fire escape. So there's a lot to screw up there.
And you can always tell
Oh,
how
my-
dangerous his stunts really are when you see the behind the scenes when he makes them, and how relieved the cast looks when he makes it.
Yeah.
Yeah, for real.
I
Just
would
like all
actually.
those bottles leaving wet marks. I think those are probably real bottles.
Oh, dude, look! If you stop right here and look,
Let me
and,
go back. Yeah,
Danny,
I'll go back. Yeah.
Danny, because Keon gave him that
Right here.
Game Gear. Yeah, and you see, there's no game in the cartridge because that's a Sega Game Gear, and there's no game
Yeah,
in the back.
there's
Oh, it's a Game
It's-
Gear? I couldn't tell.
It's a
what game.
Sega Game Gear, and there's no game because in the back is where you put the
he's
cartridge.
getting him to start easy. He's giving him an easy start into the gaming world. He'll put a game in there when he thinks he's got a handle on it.
Oops.
So, really talented gamer, even though there's no game cartridge in the little
Well,
system.
he's looking at his reflection on the screen and he thinks that's the game.
Honestly,
He has
that
lines
would've-
taped to the screen.
That would have just cost more money to have a cartridge in there, wouldn't it?
A whopping 30. What was it? Maybe the cartridge is like $30 or $40 at the time.
Not
brand
for
new.
like rights. Would anybody even notice?
That's true. Yeah.
God.
They should. Yeah.
Well,
Well,
if you
It's
Go ahead,
interesting
Holy
that they,
shit,
it's
he
interesting
looks a
that
mess.
they said one or two of these reviews said there's very little plot, but I mean they've introduced certain elements here that work really well. The kid and the cushion and the then you think you've met the big bad guys with the gang, but no, there's another whole layer of big bad guys. So there's more to
Just
it
like real life.
than it first appears. Yeah.
Oh,
Some
yeah.
real bad guys. Yeah. So
No, it was fun. Yeah, there's some good plot points too. Yeah, it's a
Yeah,
simple
they
but good little couple of
constructed it
twists.
well.
But
it's
it was,
funny and
it moves along.
Danny's like, my sister, you should meet her,
Yeah.
she's already met him.
and then yeah, right now they are met, but in this movie he was already in his 40s.
I know, right?
Yeah.
He doesn't really look it though, does he? Yeah.
No, he definitely doesn't look. I'd say he would probably look like he's like maybe 31.
You know what?
He
If you could
looks-
still look like that in your 40s, I think I might have to hire a personal trainer.
Sure.
It's interesting they managed to get the gang from the Road Warrior to appear in this movie, though. That's what
You know-
the biker gang looks like.
You're not wrong.
Which they may have been modelled on. I mean, it's perfectly realistic to expect in this world they'd all seen the Road Warrior in this movie world that we're watching. So, you know.
We got all these costumes real cheap off of a Motley Crue video.
That's right.
And a lot of the stunt people got hurt too. Like when that scene where the stunt woman is riding down the street at the drag race, and she went over the top of the handlebars, and she broke a bunch of ribs and broke everything out. You'll see it in the end credit, the end credits, but she really got hurt too. Not super serious, but pretty bad. And it's not, it's a quote unquote an easy stunt, but I've never tried to ride my motorcycle over a car either. So, I mean, it's easy for something to go wrong. Just something simple like this. I mean, he could have been castrated if he didn't get low enough, I guess, with the timing of this scene. I mean, look, he's going to go down.
I love this. The splits, dude.
Yeah.
Incredible.
Yeah,
you're seeing the scene, and you see that you're just
Slip that one back in there. Mark likes that image.
That's my screensaver. Yeah, but this just that is just freaking.
Oh my
wild.
God.
No fapping.
Okay, sorry guys, just gotta jump in here. I was right.
Ahead.
He got the crew to go dig out real bottles and do all that to him. So those were all real bottles flying. Because
a lot of money
sugar
on
glass
blood.
stunt bottles would take too long to be delivered. So he's just go find some real ones, and I'm fast enough to dodge them. So that's what happened.
wow.
Yeah.
I was right.
He's just like, use baseball bats to hit 40s at me until the guy yells cut.
Yes. But that's Jackie Chan. Like that's
so
exactly why he doesn't get enough respect. Like he does this stuff for real, but it's like not enough people know this.
But like in that last scene, he got hit in the leg with a wine bottle, so that wasn't scripted. He really went down when that shit hit him.
No, he was all in, man. Just imagine like you got a motorcycle and you just jump right in a car, do the splits to avoid the motorcycle, and then you see him hop into that building that's a whole parking lot, and he has to slide right in through a truck and all those walls, climbs up the high fences.
Look at that, the parkour going across
the move,
when he runs up, he's got the prep of having his knees bent so much, like he's almost waddling up to it. He's just ready to fucking power leap.
And don't forget, he just came off a knife having glass thrown at him. And here he is late the next morning, and here he's back at the same shit show, but on a different
But then think about what happens if he screws it up. Those bikes aren't going slow. They rammed into that gate. If he screws up, like he's getting hit by two bikes.
Mm-hmm. Go ahead, 70s.
I was just going to say, Mark made a great point about the parkour, and I'm thinking of the era. This is like mid-90s. This was made. There might not have been a lot of that kind of stuff seen in movies up to that point. That parkour, urban running stuff, and this is full. He's doing all that.
Mm-hmm.
Actually doing it. That's
probably
an early example of that, Took 20 years for that to make its way into more mainstream action movies.
One of you brought up before that there wasn't a lot going on with martial arts movies at that time. He totally reinvigorated the whole genre, really.
Oh, I'd say right here, like also before he is a slut dude. You want to talk about and you feel that like the rush when this is all happening. You're like, dude,
oh god,
that's gotta feel like also like I felt like my heart pounding. I'm like, oh, holy crap, Keanu, don't die.
Interestingly enough, it's not a scene a Schwarzenegger or Stallone could have done because they're too beefed up.
They're too way too
had
beefy.
To be an athletic guy, but
those two are a Big Mac and a Whopper. This guy's just a McDonald's dollar cheeseburger. He just slides right through, man.
Yeah, but Arnold would have bench pressed the thing off.
That's true.
It would have
see what Arnold just did? Arnold just hit 4 cars and parked on top of one of them.
Of course.
Yeah.
I heard about it. This is where he does the climbing too of the building. Dude, talk about, imagine like you're on the outside of the building and you're climbing it upwards, like and just to get away. And you're like, I'm like, dude, I felt like, dude, this guy better not fall. Like, can you imagine like filming these scenes and you're thinking, you son of a bitch, you better not fall. Like if you're climbing up a building from the outside of it, how
God, yeah.
Please don't die.
You're right.
You know-
You better not die, dude.
And
Granted, I
that
know he's
stuntman
Jackie
got hurt
Chan.
too, when he hits the riding the motorcycle. That's one of the out credits
Yep.
too. Where
Well, many
he
of the
hits
stunt women got like the few of the stunt women during this scene got their knees busted. The ones during that whole that midnight race where they're riding all over the cars, one of them busted their the one who won the money prize.
Yep.
So a lot of them busted their knees. They literally hurt themselves for this movie.
Yeah, like a scene like this, everybody's swinging weapons at him. You know you're not going to hit the freaking guy, so you start swinging that thing a little wild sometimes. You know what I mean?
Oh, dude, I love this scene.
Dude, he's so strong.
God, look at that. It's like, is there anything below him to catch him? It's like, I don't think so, right?
There's pull-ups. There's 200 and 500 push-ups a day. That's what's saving his
Yeah,
ass.
but he doesn't have. I mean, unless they had some wires, that were hidden, which I doubt it.
Well, I know for the jump they were considering wires, but the reason why they backed off the wires is because there's too much electrical wires involved, and they're worried, well, if he's wired and those walls fall attached to those, then obviously he could get electrocuted.
I don't know if that's the reason, because the stunt coordinator did it with wires, but then Jackie Chan said he wasn't going to. So there's someone went ahead.
You ever
and they wore
put on
wires.
a roof?
There's
you ever
those
do a
mountains
roof?
in the background.
And then OSHA comes along and says you have to have a rope attached to you while you're doing this roof. Now you have a fucking rope under your feet while you're trying to do work on a roof because some idiot with a pen said that you're supposed to be attached to it. Well, if you're climbing up the side of a building and if something doesn't feel right, it's going. It's gone. It's off you already.
Oh, bet.
And this guy should have kept his mouth shut, because then they
Nope,
wouldn't have
he
trashed his
couldn't.
truck, right?
He trashed his truck, sucker.
Dude, you know he
He's a
got what he
hippie. What do you
deserved.
expect?
Yeah,
He's
he
a
got what
hippie.
he deserved. But dude, imagine I would feel so cool and badass to know that a car is falling and I'm at to jump out of it and stand up. Imagine how badass that has to feel to be able to just do that. Yeah, look at me. This car is about to fall off this building many stories high, but it's okay. I'll be all right. I'm just gonna jump anyways.
As I
Right.
sift through this thing of child balls.
As the Bronx mountains are displayed in the background.
But these guys are so idiotic, they don't realize they could kill a dozen people underneath and they'd be up for mass murder.
Oh, I know.
They just
Right?
shove a truck off the top of a building.
Well,
What do you
that's-
think had to
that's-
pick up all those balls?
That's
Oh
bad
God!
Well, see, that's bad neighborhoods for you to gel. Like as Keon's uncle said earlier, it's like you get used to it. And I'm not trying to downplay like New York City or Chicago, but it's one of those things where it doesn't make you okay. But when you're in a certain big city for a long period of time, it's almost like you get desensitized to things because it happens so often that it becomes just like another thing. Like, oh, hey, more corruption. And yeah, probably for people who live in like the Bronx or Chicago or Detroit, this is just another day in paradise, for lack of a better term. Like, oh, hey, there's another kind of fell off a building. It's okay. Meanwhile, snow is white, like type of deal. Oh yes.
Time to do some Superman shit.
And some mooning.
And this is
Alright.
Mad, if only Mad was here, because his favorite scene's coming up.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Martin's
where's
favourite
Mad?
scene.
Yeah.
Mad would love this.
Maybe Boomer did.
There you go.
And then he's gonna whip him. Yeah, with the antenna.
Whip it good.
I remember when
Good.
rewatching it, I thought he was gonna shove it up his ass. I'm like, oh, that's where the R is gonna come from shoving it up his ass.
Yeah,
I
'cause
wouldn't
so
get
much
that.
of this isn't screaming rated R.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Oh, he likes it.
couple-
Go back to that face. He likes it.
Just
You
don't
go-
get
Yeah.
that.
He had
Spank
that
me
face.
harder,
It's like,
Daddy.
he's just like, ooh, look at that, ooh, like
Oh,
that.
yeah.
You know that Christian Bale gif where he kind of does like the ooh, like face,
Yeah,
like.
And then there's that little shock of like, why did I like that so much?
Yo, he barely took a running jump on this shit.
Yeah,
I love.
unbelievable.
I bet they had a ramp going up the car or something to, because you don't see anything beyond that. So they probably had to set up.
The car was the ramp.
Do you think he would have actually just run off the ramp, or they'd build that
Yeah.
so he can?
I do.
Oh, okay,
Dude.
you know what? It's Jackie Chan, so okay, I'm with you.
Imagine
look at how
how.
far that
Oh wait,
is.
no, there's a ramp in the
I don't think he
background
has
there.
lot
Take a
of
look.
sense
The funny
for
thing is, it
preservation
took-
of himself.
Take a look at the far end. There's a ramp right. Like he had to
here.
have jumped
Oh,
off
It
that's
that.
took him,
Totally.
it took
Had
him
to.
6 takes to get this
That
jump right,
platform, yeah.
Took
Well,
him
because-
6 takes.
See, look, he's over this car, the blue car here.
No, but that's a different shot.
And then here
that's a
you've got a
different shot
Porsche.
than
This is a Porsche 924. These are different cars here.
yeah. So the other one is jumping onto a pad. Then this is the real shot. So they would have. That's one take into the cars
there,
something soft, and then he's got the real take of jumping across.
Yeah, because then he puts his feet down real early here.
Yeah.
See?
Yeah, this is the real thing.
Yeah.
And he's much
Fucking
farther back, so
insane.
he did have a ramp.
He probably
God.
he went up to here maybe.
This
I don't
dude is
know.
fucking nuts.
Dude, imagine like getting that landing and then there's that floor that you fall on right after, that hard floor after, everything about that. And once again, coming up busted up knees and coming off having glass thrown at him. And now here he has to do a hard landing. Like, dude, the body has to feel like absolute garbage.
Yeah,
Powerline
he looks like
Guy
he's
from
barely
Micton-
going to make it.
Guy Vermicton got what I was saying. This was the 6th take. He missed the first 5.
Even
It's a
if you
long
land,
drop
even
down
if
there
you
as
land
well.
that,
A long
you're-
drop.
the momentum, you're going to smash your face right into that brick wall.
See, now he's more Looney Tunes than he is black and white silent movie star. That's Looney Tunes.
Okay, where does it say that this was his 6th take?
Yeah, that was just my
That was a
idea of
joke.
Okay.
He fell, to the,
So,
he
like,
fell to the ground. He missed the first 5, fell to the ground, and then had to go back to the top and do it again.
So it's like there's no way there were 6 takes. This seems
When-
way too dangerous to keep
When
doing
you
over
explain
again.
it kind of loses the impact when you have to explain it like that.
Oh my god.
It's okay.
But
Sonny.
look at that,
I got
like-
it the first time.
Look how perfect that is. I mean, look at the trajectory. He's going, he nailed it.
Somebody did some kind of jump here, that's for sure.
And he's
Ooh, here's the
Oh,
dude, right? That look at that floor. Look, like
Where was
imagine getting
that-
landing?
where is it? Can you go back? Is his head going into that door?
Oh no! He
Close.
was out the door.
One
Oh,
more.
close.
That's wall.
face plant. He looks like he drunk face planted.
Oh my god.
Yeah, it looks like he took a flat chest.
This had to have been one of the last scenes that they filmed for this. This had to have
But
been
there's
one
no
of the last
pad there.
scenes.
I have to
seriously,
wonder
Fucking
how
nuts.
this
I'm
was
telling
done.
you, he's insane.
He's not going to put his life at risk, though, so there must have been some perspective work and something.
No, he
protecting
did 28-foot jump. Like that was a legit thing that happened.
This
He
had to have been one of the last
something
scenes.
on the ground, though. There had to
Well-
be a pad, a big one of those big.
In
Yeah,
order
that door is open and there is a pad in that hallway. That's what he falls on. But
Yeah, but I'm thinking of on the ground.
then they
That could
reshot
be-
that where he just fell down without the pad because I think that's in the credits too.
You're going to
That's
need
some
to
stuff.
because
I don't give a shit if you put 10 Sealies over there. It ain't gonna. I ain't jumping.
yeah, well, you don't fill this scene first, but okay, we still got a whole other 85 minutes of footage we got to film for this movie. This is definitely one of the last scenes.
Cut,
need-
Jackie, do it again. We didn't get that. Do it again.
Everybody up there is just like,
Camera jam.
holy shit.
Reset.
Yeah.
Combination of holy shit and thank God he made it.
Yeah, right. Yeah, or no, Imperatus, right? Like this scene, that, and he's just like, "Fuck, you weren't supposed to make that jump. What the hell, dude?"
And meanwhile, on the back of his head, he's going, thank God, thank God, thank God.
Yeah, right.
Right?
And the scary part is as insane as the stunts are in this movie, some of his other movies were even more insane.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah, he's
he
jumped
does
off of
outdo
buildings
himself.
onto helicopters and all kinds of stupid
He
shit. you shouldn't
slid
do
down
in
a
real life.
building.
Yeah, don't do that.
Don't do these things at home, kids. We're just talking about the movie.
I
You
was
hear
on
us
a
YouTube.
35-foot ladder at the top of it, and it was in the mud, and it slid down the house like that, and that hurt. But like, that seems tame compared to just jumping off of something because you still have friction to slow you down. You jump off of a building, you're just fucked, man. You got 4 feet before your body hits terminal velocity. So 28 feet. Yeah, do the math. His legs were fucking really mad at him that night.
That was impressive. That's really
I mean,
impressive.
so
Lucky he
you
didn't break
thankfully
his femurs
broken
or his
ankle.
shins.
Because of
Well,
the
he did break
angle,
his
he
ankle on
had
the-
to do that
on the last time.
blind.
Yeah, he did.
It was so they did practice on the second floor so he could like see where he's going, and then they moved the platform up to the
second
regular
floor is much
area,
safer.
marked it off.
Oh, yeah?
He did it like he couldn't see where he was going before he jumped. He just had to know where he was going to the exact points where he had to take off. Like, wow.
Yeah.
Fuck that.
Now, do you
That
think
is
in this
so-
scene here? In this scene here, do you think that the bad guys are trying to double cross the diamond thieves, or I didn't catch why they got into this fight here, into this chase, where someone was trying to rip someone off here, or with this whole car crash and everything.
Actually, I got lost with the diamonds too because I was too like enamored by the stunts.
By the stunts,
I
right?
thought that the suit guys were the diamond thieves and that they had
Yeah.
just stolen them from the diamond thieves.
And the
Yeah,
guys,
I didn't
them.
even know where the whole diamond thing came out with. It was just at some point, like, okay, there's diamonds now, whatever, we're going with it. You
Well,
know?
it's the big bad guys, the real big bad guys turn up.
Yeah, there's the bad guys, and then there's the really bad
Real
guys.
bad guys.
Yeah.
So,
the-
like, can you guys explain where the diamonds came from? Like, how did that come into play? Because
It came from a mine somewhere.
Yeah, they
were
came from a
mined.
mine in Africa.
Blondie
mined
had them.
by small children.
Short hair Blondie had them.
And
they
he
were talking
stole
about
them
a
from
diamond
someone?
heist. Yeah, there was a diamond heist in New York City. The cops
Yeah,
talked
it's a
about
twist. He's from South Africa.
So the guys stole
South
them, but then
Africa.
the other guys were going to buy them, but then I don't know why they got into, like, they had all the cash there to buy them, and I don't know what happened. Then
It's much
something
more
went
fun
wrong.
to
It
rip
double
things
crossed.
off, so you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, they wanted the cash and the diamonds.
Yep. Probably. Yep. But they didn't tell you why the deal went bad there. That's all.
Okay. Yeah, I
I
must
guess I'm
have.
asking too much.
They
Yeah.
missed that, yeah.
Yeah, I must have missed that one part because I just didn't get where they were coming from, and honestly, I didn't care. I straight up, I didn't.
Yeah.
I was having fun. Like,
Yeah. This
I just
movie-
accepted
fair,
it.
Yeah.
Just take one look at this meth head and the with the bleach blonde hair. The deal goes south right then for me.
Well, yeah, like, okay, so this guy does bad things. Cool. Like, that's as much as I need to know. He's an obvious meth head, and so he did something, and then
Yeah, to me,
Diamonds
he
got
either
there.
screams incapable or he's an undercover cop.
I still didn't even see where Jackie Chan was actually a cop.
He doesn't need to be. It's just a thing. They started out that way, and they're just like, "Fuck it, just go kick everybody's ass."
Yeah, I don't know if I watched like a different version or what, because
Well,
only
there's two
cop
versions,
related
yeah.
scene I came across was the one where he was faking having a badge to get them off the lady they were attacking.
It's entirely
Oh, it's
possible.
cut out of the American version. It's in the
Yeah, there was a lot of versions after this came on, the whole China Hollywood, because
Okay.
there's so many versions that different came out between the United States release and the Europeans. They had so many different versions of this come out. Like, and I've only seen the basic American version, so I couldn't tell you about anything else.
I like it better without him being a cop, because then it's just being
He's just a normal neighborhood guy. He's a
yeah,
normal neighborhood,
yeah.
like looking out for the neighborhood, regular Joe Schmo guy who's obviously he's there because he's moved into the area and he's looking out for everyone. And he's looking out for the local grocery store because
Yeah.
there's all the corrupt gangs who are trying to ruin everything and make it about them. He's just like, hey, dude, no, this is their territory. Leave it alone. It's kind of a very superhero-esque, like Spider-Man, Daredevil type of story. It says like, hey, I'm protecting this turf, this territory, even like a gang war type of thing,
Well,
except with
and-
one man.
You're
instead of a
right
gang.
He was
on with
tied to it
Spider-Man.
too.
Say that, Yeti.
He was tied to the store because it was his uncle's when he got here, and it was sold. So he's just respectful and staying to help the other people get like accustomed to their new purchase, to like owning the store and how it runs. So like he's being nice. That's like the best part about it.
Yeah.
Just a nice guy staying there to help out.
Yeah, and sometimes that's all you need for a main lead character. He doesn't need to have some super overly complex story arc with 800 layers to a story. It's just he's a simple, hey, I'm just a normal guy who wants to keep the neighborhood safe. And that's cool. You don't need to have him be so complex. Just give him a straightforward good guy arc, and that's where we know, okay, this is our hero. These are our villains. It's very clear cut and defined. We're not trying to tittle the lines like to where it's just like we don't know what is what anymore. Clearly who is good and who is obviously bad and then very bad in this movie. The lines are very clear.
And it works though because of that everyman, he's he's just making a living, and he wants to be a part of the community because he's new here. That, it's so believable. Although I will say,
the tiger, right? With the
Yes.
I'm like looking at him like that tiger can get through that cage. It's like, put a paw through the cage. It's like
This
there's
is the
no
bit
like
I'm
screen
thinking.
there.
Okay,
So
I know
70s,
it's
tell
meant to
us
be an
about this scene.
I know it's meant to be an underground type club, but it's not really underground because you can come in off the street. No one's going to allow a live tiger to be walking around quite as open as that. I mean, you could
Look at the
stick
gaps
virtually
there.
your whole body through those parts.
Yes.
well, because the fear makes it sexy.
Yeah, but then again, I'm thinking maybe
Tigers
Peter would
can't jump through things.
Peter
or
would get
over
involved
things.
because maybe the tiger's the one that's getting scared here and is at risk.
The tiger tried to eat her in the scene, and she just stays dancing. Like, she
know.
ignores it the entire time.
Never mind, it could stick its paw right through there.
Okay, guys,
This
that
reminded me of the end
means
of
that
Clerks
means she's
2.
literally. You know how they say the whole stunning and brave? Well, being by a tiger. Just saying.
She is stunning and brave. Okay, if you go back and really watch the scene. Oh, shit, 1 second. Sorry.
There's some poor barman's got to get that tiger now and put it back in its cage.
Who's more toxic, the dancer or the tiger?
Well, that's what I'm wondering. Yeah, maybe the tiger's the one that's really at risk. Yeah. It's being
As
abused.
Captain Marvel.
It's-
Well, if you take a look, like, she doesn't move from the spot, because I'm guessing they marked out where the safe areas are. But she doesn't even blink when that tiger starts to try and get inside her cage to eat her. When you watch it without just the still images, it looks kind of scary because that tiger just jumps on the cage, is like looking for its next meal.
I guess the
I gotta
local
call
city,
bullshit on this scene. Oh, sorry, I gotta call
the
bullshit.
city council don't bother with things like that when they check for licensing. Yeah, you're a live tiger, so what?
Live tiger. she drops her high heels here, and then who's shifting the gears on this motorcycle? Because I ride motorcycles. You ain't riding a motorcycle in bare feet. I mean, it's
She's
pretty.
got Brie
Especially a
Larson
big
feet.
heart like that.
But she's drunk.
I mean,
She's got
that's
feet like a hobbit, or just all hairy and tough.
but that's all fun. But yeah,
I want to know
like,
how
wait a
come
minute.
these gang guys only have one outfit.
Yeah, continuity.
Jackie
like
Chan.
It's been like a week, then they go to the club wearing their stank ass swamp pants.
Yeah, they must have smelled really bad, like being in their underground lair, then going to the grocery store, then going to the nightclub. It doesn't seem like they have any areas to like clean themselves up. And obviously, you got Blondie, who looks like he's naturally very smelly. So I can imagine deodorant's on shortage with these guys. And
Those guys are going to be Dennis Leary's crew in Demolition Man.
They're not
Or maybe
smelling
that's where
done.
they came from.
Yeah,
Feeling
maybe
any
that's
deodorant here.
Wasn't
that's-
Jackie Chan up for that? Wasn't he up for a part in that movie in
in
Demolition Man?
Demolition. I
read somewhere they
remember.
said that Stallone offered him a part, but I don't know if that's
Hey Jackie Chan,
you wanna be in this
movie? It's about to see with the PC world in the future. You should show up. If you don't show up, I'll get Wesley Snipes. So respond now or get the fuck out.
a bit of that hung fu.
Oh man.
The guy in the trunk always makes me laugh.
Oh, dude, you want to talk about a death of brutality? Like his buddy, like, oh man, I remember seeing that scene. I'm like, bro, you want to talk about a death scene of intensity? That, like, seriously, that's like something that came from like a Cannibal Corpse like album. And I realized Keanu is basically like the Godfather, even though he's like the normal neighborhood guy who's just looking out over town, But he's also he's got the liaison to him. Like his uncle's got his soon-to-be wife, the new owner of the store, and Danny's older sister, who's always working. Like Keanu's got the hoe train, or is the Godfather saying the WWF attitude the hoe train?
This guy needs
I remember when he
sensitivity
used
training.
to charge up in the corner. I love that before he did his run. And that guy just threw a wheelchair kid.
It's right.
That's so toxic.
It's like a Latin American soap opera now. It's,
Kill that SOB.
Did anyone feel bad for the other girl? Because it seemed like when they started the movie, it was being set up that they were going to end up, gang
Yeah, I
together,
was just
and
gonna
then he
ask
just
that. You
finds
thought
this
that- I thought that too,
supermodel.
right? Right, I thought
Right.
and then they kind
Right.
of changed her makeup towards the end too. Like she looked more frumpy. Did you guys notice that too?
Yeah, I
like in the
noticed that
beginning,
too.
she looked a lot prettier, and then
Yeah.
I was thinking the exact same thing. You thought, all right, so you all, I was just going to ask that you guys all thought the same thing. Yep.
Yes.
Yeah,
Cool.
but then that other the Asian girl comes in, is just like smoking hot. He's like, "Oh, I'm going with her."
Yeah. She's
'Cause
got a tiger.
He was
Canadian
he was,
actress. Huh?
No, but he was totally coming on to the grocery store owner, like that scene where
Yeah.
like she couldn't bring
Yes.
the thing down to close the store, and you see like, oh hey, that must mean she plays an
Yes.
important part in the movie later on. It's just like no, and that you want to talk about a bait and switch before the modern age bait and switch? That was a bait and switch too.
Oh yeah, it made me feel bad for the other girl by the end of the movie.
Exactly.
And she slams a beer too, so she's kind of badass in her own right. She's just like, I'm not happy about what happened in my store, but here I'm gonna have a beer.
And just wait till it all gets pulled down later on, too.
She's
Yeah.
actually been in some of his other movies, and she can take an ass beating too.
Whoa,
Asian
what?
people are smart. She bought insurance.
She should have been saying, "Your father sold me this place. You fooled me."
He ripped me off.
Or
yeah.
uncle, sorry, your uncle sold me this place.
Yeah, your uncle no tell me about the street gangs.
Well, yeah, that was part of the original version where the uncle tries to sell it to someone else too. So he's more set up in that version as a scam artist, like not when he's cleaning it up and not letting her know that it's how bad it is, and he's like, everyone respects me. No one paints graffiti on my building. It's
Well, not this morning anyway.
not this morning. Yeah.
Yeah, how fast does that just kind of fall apart? Like everybody loves this place, and then next scene, it's just they're just doing nothing but try to trash it.
Okay, so I
Look
gotta
at this
mention
scum
something
shack.
for this scene here where he does a whole boatload of ass kicking. Jackie Chan literally bought all the furniture and arranged the entire room to set up his, obviously you could say his choreography, his stunts. He organized this room. He prepared this whole scene in his head for how he's going to do all the stunts and his badassery.
Wow.
He bought everything in this room to make this scene happen. So this was literally coming out of his wall. I'd say, let me arrange this place. I'm going to set to my liking. That's why all the moves look so smooth and like so swift and quick. And like you could see it's him doing it too. Like he planned this out to the T, quite literally.
Well, and they often slow down his action scenes because he's moving too fast.
Yeah, to show you also he's actually doing it too. There's no stunt double.
Yeah. And it's crazy to think that they have to slow down his movements because him and his stunt workers are just so good at what they do. The camera's having a hard time capture it.
Yeah, that started with Bruce Lee back in the day, and they had to figure out how many frames per second they needed to actually do kung fu movies properly. Pretty awesome.
It's so awesome.
Yeah, because like seriously, when you're talking about frames per second, it's
Like, when are we going to
how
get something
fast
like
is
this
well,
again?
if you can't capture it in like 24 or 16 frames per second, second's pretty fast.
Now, Book of Soul Assassin, I like that name. How come we never had a movie with both kids? Dude, that is a dream team combination. You have Keanu with the gun, and then you could have Jackie Chan with the fists and the legs. Like you'd have them balancing out. One's got the artillery, the other guy's got the fists. Literally, like that would have been perfect. Like
So then it would just be Keanu Reeves shooting a bunch of beat up guys.
I
I don't know.
Jackie Chan beating up a bunch
there
of
was
shot
a
guys.
good one with
Yeah.
Jackie Chan and Pierce Brosnan called The Foreigner. That was like a fantastic movie. That's probably the closest.
Yeah,
but
it was a bit
he is
more
starting
of
to
a
get
drama,
older.
though. Jackie didn't really do a lot of action in that one. It was much more of a drama.
I think he must be getting a little bit older now because I think he's around 70.
At least.
Must be.
He's I had it up before. I think he's 67, but let me check.
It's hard
my
to
numbers
tell.
right.
Oh yeah.
He's only just
He's
started showing his age in the
67,
past
born in
couple
50,
years.
born in 54. Yep.
God, that would be an awesome thing to see. Keanu Reeves and Jackie Chan. Throw in Brendan Fraser. I'm dying to see
man.
Keanu Reeves and Brendan Fraser together.
That's that's another guy who had great charisma, who was a great leading man type of thing, who did not get his proper due. He had a moment where he looked like he was gonna have a streak of badass flicks, and then all of a sudden it just stopped for him, and looks like he's starting to get old. Oh, I know.
Massive amount. He had massive amounts of surgery after the Mummy movies.
Yep.
Well, and then he had this horrifying divorce where he was just raked through the coals.
God.
And it messed him up mentally. He was also so taken advantage of from Hollywood elites, a little bit of inappropriate touching. And he did not know how to handle that. So all these things together,
and this guy, he gave him the casting couch treatment, and he just ran out of there crying, basically.
This is another one that would have been killer. Jackie Chan cruise, especially modern age cruise with Jackie Chan in his prime. This would have been, dude. The stunts these two, it would have been like a hold my beer of who's gonna outdo each other. Probably ultimately Jackie Chan would have been the ultimate outdoor. But it's still been some fun competition to have seen. It still would have been fun.
Those two I could see doing a movie together today. Because, Tom Cruise, he's definitely getting older. It's starting to show a little bit, but he gives it his all. And so would Jackie Chan. So you could probably develop the story and choreography together to make something phenomenal. Because even when they're old, they're still delivering.
I'd like to see Tom Cruise do a movie about Tom Cruise escaping Scientology with all the guys that come after him.
Oh, that would be a hell of a flick.
You'd call it Eyes Wide Open.
Yeah, Eyes Wide Open.
Leah Remini would be in it. Yep.
Yeah, right. She hot.
Dude, all I know is seeing all these ladies there just standing around in lingerie makes me want to join their gang. If that's what's going on.
I think a good thing going there. Yeah. If they only hadn't messed with Jackie Chan, they could had a sweet deal going there.
What do you guys do? We bang hoes and get the shit beaten
move
out of us by Jackie Chan.
Yeah.
But, why are they even bothering with some small town grocery store when they've got that? That's just their regular headquarters.
No, I know.
Free stuff.
It's a sex drug. Yeah, they mooch off of each other. It's supposed to be that they're rebellious sex drugs and rock and roll life. And obviously you can see all the alcohol right there too, and the 800 fridges for all their alcohol intake and whatever
free
hydration
Pepsi.
They consume, and free Pepsi, because total product placement of Pepsi endorsement in this movie, and it shows.
This is just so amazing.
Oh, right there, bada bing, bitch.
But it's so imaginative too to think of it too, the way he uses the fridges, he uses the chair. It's not just a straight up fight, punching. He's using everything in the room, and when you watch it, you're cheering for him even more. God, what a badass! He goes to their lair, right? Their hideout, challenges them all, and he knows the guy has a gun, and he doesn't care, and then he's just taking him down, and he's using everything in the room, which is if you just have a simple fight.
The environment is his weapon. He makes their environment his weapon, and that's what's beautiful.
Yes, he is Godfighter.
Is that what makes his fights and his believability stand out more than other martial arts movies? Because I don't think you see anyone take someone down with a chair or a fridge
But that's how it is if you get into a fight. You grab anything that feels like it weighs something and you hit the guy with it.
Yes, and that's what Jackie Chan does, right?
What's what I was saying
Look at the black and white TV.
Hold on, Imperatus, what'd you have to say?
I was gonna say, this is what I was saying earlier. This is one of the first movies, at least in the US, we saw that was more of an action comedy and not more of a kung fu movie.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it crossed over the two genres.
Even though he was doing this kind of stuff prior in Hong Kong for quite a few years. I mean, even Police Story had a little bit of comedy to it. Adding those elements of comedy, because he said in interviews, a lot of his early movies were a kung fu movie where it was a little bit of dialogue, fight, a little bit of dialogue, fight, no real anything else going on. And he wanted to get away from that. And you can start seeing it in his movies over time. if you're watching him from like the early parts of his career up to like say here, you can see him start adding in more elements of comedy, using things in the environment like the refrigerators or whatever. So it's definitely for what Yeti was saying. He's definitely got a unique style. I want to say though too, he took some inspiration from, or they took inspiration from him, a group of martial artists from the Shaw Brothers movies known as the Venom Mob. So all the guys in Five Deadly Venoms, because if you watch their movies, the movie could be absolutely god awful cheesy, but the fight scenes are so crisp, so precise. If they screw up, they're knocking somebody out accidentally.
Well, that sounds like a movie I have to watch now.
I know. Can you repeat this?
Yeah, right. Please
Because I heard
on.
the Venom Gang. Now,
Five Deadly Venoms is the name of the movie.
Oh, Five Deadly Venoms. That's the name of the Okay, so it's not a group that does movies together.
Well, no, they are actually. That's just what they've never really. I think fans have called them that, or that's how I've always referred to this group of actors, because they pretty much drew lots at any movie they were all in together to see who would play what character. They didn't care. Like Jackie Chan's come out and said he doesn't like being a bad guy, and I can only think of one movie where he was a bad guy, and that was a movie called The Deadly Meteors, and it's really bad.
All right, and what's this movie called? Because we got people in the chat who really want to know. Actually, they got to write it down so we know. What's it called again?
Five Deadly Venoms.
Five Deadly Venoms. There you go. Thank you, Mark D with a C. Appreciate that. There's your IMDb link chat. Yeah,
I'll be dropping a couple more kung fu movies people should watch.
You also called them the Venom Gang or something?
The Venom Mob. Yeah, if you go and look at the names of the actors in this movie and then go and try to find what other movies they were in, you'll find a plethora of good kung fu movies. Kid with the Golden Arm is also another good solid one with those guys.
Nice. God. Rumbling by.
And the best part about when you watch these guys, you're like, holy shit, these guys are some good martial artists. One of them was. One guy was a bodybuilder. One guy was an acrobat. One guy was a Chinese opera guy like Jackie Chan. Only one was actually a legit martial artist.
Look at those sweet pinball machines. I love pinball.
Those are like 60s, 70s retro too.
Yeah.
You know, good. I think after this, though, he started taking the comedy stuff a little too far. Like, this was a perfect mix.
Yeah, it was a perfect blend.
It was right there. It's got the crisp, clean, awesome kung fu with funny scenes, and then it starts to get sillier as his career goes on.
I think there's a point where you can say that the choreography overtakes the actual fighting, and it's more about, well, here's another implement I can use to fend someone off.
Yeah,
you want the balance to be right, because you want to see the actual martial arts. You want to see fists and feet hitting bodies. It's the same with some of the Jason Statham movies where he's gone a little bit over the top some of the setups, wrestling in mud or piles of oil.
The oil scene.
Yeah, I mean, it's too much. Let's just see some kick-ass fighting.
I love this.
Oh, God.
I love this.
Yeah.
That's funny, though.
So good.
Considering the next 5 movies he had after this, the next one was a movie called Thunderbolt. Not really sure what that is. Then First Strike, then Mr. Nice Guy. Then
I love Mr. Nice Guy. I saw Mr. Nice Guy in theaters. I think I did. I remember loving that one, Mr. Nice Guy. I love that title. So good.
It feels like I need to go watch all the ones I hadn't seen around this time, just because this one was amazing. I loved it, start to finish. Sorry, what was that?
I think he's about the Jodie Foster, that blonde chick with the baseball bat. That's a little pinball humor.
I think Imperator said something.
Yeah, I was just saying that all the movies that he did around this time period were really good.
I think I know the Jodie Foster movie you're talking about.
Yeah, at least somebody got the joke. It's really
I got the joke. Yeah, I got it.
I know what you're talking about.
She got her revenge in the end.
Yeah, of course.
It's just one of those recommendations that I don't know if I would have checked out on my own. If this wasn't coming up, it wasn't on my radar. But I am so grateful I watched it.
Good.
Like, honestly, if you have not watched this movie, you need to.
Good. No, I'm glad you, Yeti. I'm glad you got the time, was able to catch this one, because yeah, it's definitely. I'm going to take a quote that or a word that 70s rock fan likes to use, not as a overlooked but an underlooked movie. It's like not everyone knows about it, but the ones that know about it, like, this is a fun, like, action flick where you don't really. It's definitely, it knows, like, it's not trying to apply logic here. It's have fun with it. Turn your brain off for 90 minutes and just roll with the punches. Quite literally roll with the punches.
Quite literally. That's a good one.
It struck that right balance though, because it's not too silly. Like, so you can buy into a lot. If you're in a fight, you're taking everything you can to that's around you, and he does that. And it's not over the top, like
Well, he's fighting
crazy
an
things.
entire
So all
room.
the funny moments land because they're just well timed.
And he's fighting an entire room of people, so he's going to use everything that he can.
Yeah.
It also goes back to what 70s said at the beginning of all this, how he's almost like a silent movie actor. His facial expressions are where all his comedy is. There's no dialogue. It's all body language and facial expressions, and he's always been that way.
Oh, and the grabbing of the
true.
bottles, switching back and forth, that was extremely Chaplin.
No, he's very, and that's good that he's animated, because he's not trying to obviously be this overly, like, amazing actor. That's his great ava, like Robert De Niro talent. So he's making up for it with charisma and very animated ability too, whether it's through facial expression or obviously what he can do with martial arts. So he makes up for that in so many ways. And that's generally what this movie is. It's not about trying to be the stellar acting. It's just them saying, hey, just roll with this awesome lead.
I still thought it was good acting, though.
It is. This isn't phenomenally good acting to convey the emotions of the fight while he's doing it. He's not just concentrating on, okay, I got to get this move, I got to get this move. He's actually putting a lot into it facially. You can see he's so good at it.
Yeah, and every time you have a new frame, you could see how he's always in a powerful stance.
Look what he's doing there. When he's looking, he doesn't just like, he's not saying, I'm just going to, I got to go over here. He's actually putting something into those expressions. I think he's.
And that's probably where he's very different than Jet Li.
Yes.
So he's in the fucking zone.
Yes.
Because Jet Li always goes, I think he's always played in darker movies.
More serious movies.
Always more serious. He's stoic. He's not doing that same facial expression and
most of his fights he's stone faced.
Yes,
Somebody once compared Jackie Chan, I think it's one of the, even might be a review for this, to Fred Astaire, because he's moving with the same fantastic choreography, and he's also acting at the same time.
Actually, that was Ebert. That was Ebert that said that.
Was that the Ebert one? Yeah,
might have been Ebert. Yeah,
and I can see that.
See, it reminds me of
something
Gene
you don't
Kelly
appreciate.
in the stunt side, because Gene Kelly was told not to do a stunt, and he went in early and did it. He jumped on a ladder across two buildings, basically, and that's the same exact shit Jackie Chan was doing. 60, 70 years later.
Oh, guys,
Kelly's a very physical guy.
I gotta give a good old shout out to Vigilante Williamson. What's up, buddy? Nice to see you here in the chat. As he says, Jackie Chan is beyond underrated, dude. I gotta get you back on here as soon as you're available, dude. Seriously, I miss streaming with you all the time, dude, and I hope you're well. Obviously, it was great hanging with you on the cocktail lounge last week, so thank you for dropping by, man. And Dragon Master 360, where's the mango lemonade? I want it and I need it. Anyways, let's carry on with the show. Sorry, guys, I had to mention those things. But
hail the VW.
Well, that thing that 70s was talking about. And the quote from I think he said Roger Ebert, that when he's doing this, he's putting so much into what he does that I didn't notice until we got these still images and the amount of almost acting with his face, all the different expressions, and during the scene where if you make a mistake, he's gonna be knocked out or break an arm, like something bad's gonna happen. And he's doing this. I don't know if I ever appreciated it as much as just watching the stills move. It's incredible. It really is. I don't know how else to say that.
The stills
this is
have
a
made
good
big
scene.
difference. Yeah.
Good scene here too, where the guy admits like he's kicked all our asses, and Chan kind of puts them all down and says, what are you thinking? So there's a little bit of a plot here. And
Yeah, he's got
character
big nuts
development.
saying, "Don't you know you're the scum of society?"
Yeah, you can
That's
spend the
pretty
rest of your
cold-blooded.
life, beating up people and robbing them, right? Yeah, why lower yourself? So
That's another thing that goes back to how he's almost like a superhero comic, because you got Spider-Man pretty much doing essentially the same thing as he's beating the guy up, not afterwards.
yeah,
I could see Batman doing it afterwards, but you
It's
got
just
somebody.
funny that the
Oh,
guy's
yeah.
standing there with a gun and he's still just like, he doesn't care.
I like this
Faster than that
line.
gun.
I like this line. I hope next time we meet, we won't be a fight. And then that's just say, hey, listen, like, we don't need to do all this. Like, I just want to have live in a neighborhood. Just leave me alone, man. Like,
Yeah.
And that
Yeah.
gets back to the thing that he's not trying to kill these guys. He's beating them up. He's defending himself, but he doesn't want to go that extra step and actually
Yes.
kill them. He just wants them to leave everyone alone and stop doing what they're doing.
Oh, this would have been
Vigilante's got a great. This is a great comment from Vig.
right here, yes. No, VW here says, I was watching Jackie Chan fight scenes a few months ago. What he's doing is proving storytelling could be done with fights. And and it really does like push the story forward, the fights. And so like it does feel like there's meaning through the fights, and they do bring the story forward. And you do feel like there is lots of danger in this one, lots of stakes involved. Like obviously there's a lot of figures that play here, a lot of big names at the game. You got the bad guys, the really bad guys. You got the local grocery store at stake.
Yep.
You got obviously you got little Danny. You got his sister. Like there's a lot of names here, and he's just the one guy who's like he's trying to tackle an empire, ultimately speaking. And that's usually how a lot of these things are run.
Yeah, great point, Nick. And this is where the not so bad guys kind of turn, right? I mean, they're pretty bad, pretty toxic in this movie. But then he's like, yeah, did he really mean that? And and this is kind of their flip. So he's kind of won these, scum of society. He's won them over. He's done the superhero bit.
Yeah, well, what's the point in them
Man, she is so
wrecking
hot.
a local
I'm sorry.
supermarket? Yeah. Oh, she is.
Yeah,
I
I
watched this
just said
movie
that.
last night. I said that
Oh.
like I can't count how many times. I was like, God damn, I don't remember it being that hot.
No, like, man, that's another level.
You just want to be that cross right now, don't you?
Oh, so bad. I don't even think she's wearing a bra.
Yeah. Well, then
She is.
Yeah,
It's just
see,
not
take a
strong
look.
enough.
her role was a big flop then.
And then
And-
here comes the the gang member that didn't survive, the chipper.
At the time that this came out too, because like this is, I guess this was some of the early turning points of, I guess you could say, the crossovers between China and America, because that was happening then. But to a lesser extent, it wasn't about like pleasing China, but China actually wanted to break into America. That was how it was then. They wanted to please us, and
Yeah, because they really
this-
have their own independent market, so they wanted to merge the two and make a lot of money.
Yeah, and this was back then. This is a big deal for them to have this place, because this was hugely profitable for the China market and for the American market. So obviously, it gave Chan the American mainstream recognition, and it was only set like $7 million too, which obviously nowadays that feels like absolutely nothing. But at the time, that was like, I guess you could say, a slightly bigger number, not Terminator high, but still higher. So
Considering what the budget actually was, though, it was only
They-
$7.5 million.
yeah,
They smashed a lot of dirt bikes.
Now, does anyone know why Jet Li and Jackie Chan never really did a bunch of martial arts movies with
this
each other?
photo is well positioned with the VW's
That's a
comment.
good point.
I
I mean, is it just the styles are so different, or in terms
Oh
of
God,
tone?
they look so badass though. Like Jet Li would be the villain, Jackie Chan's the hero, and like I could only imagine what type of magic would have come out from that.
Or just make them cousins.
The only thing I can think of is, correct me if I'm wrong on this, and I could be wrong on this. I think Jet Li was more mainland China,
Mm-hmm.
and
Yeah,
Jackie Chan
and
was Hong
it's
Kong.
Hong Kong. Yeah.
Yep.
that could play something into it. Because if you watch Jet Li's movies, there's definitely a different cinematic style to them compared to what Hong Kong was doing at the time.
Oh, it was very different styles, but
Look at
they were
that
just
face.
so good.
Oh yeah, for sure. They really, really were. I mean, I remember the first time I saw a Jet Li movie, I was like, Jesus Christ, this guy's quick.
Yep.
So good.
And of course, Hong Kong was still part of the British Empire at this point too, so it hadn't split, and wasn't.
But
subsumed
Jackie
by
Chan was
China now.
like he's kind of been, I don't know, a mouthpiece for China for a long time. So
He's flipped. Yeah, they did flip.
Because his kid did something stupid and got caught.
Yeah.
Dude, Jackie Chan was the drunk, Jet Li was the mug. Shout out to Rudy in the chat. What's up, dude? VW, here the nerf funny one. I think the Hong Kong thing is huge. I didn't want to be that guy and point it out. Oh, VW.
That's kind of what Nick's got me for now. Because I don't care.
So that was probably the main reason then. But then what about after the flip? Because, I know he like stopped associating with his other daughter for because of reasons that would displease the party.
Ooh.
Yeah, well, you're really not free over there, so that's a problem. So,
And again, I could be wrong, but I think Jet Li lives in the States now.
I don't know personally.
I could be wrong on that.
Yeah.
They did do the Forbidden Kingdom, but that still had more of that family oriented feel. I wanted like the kung fu thing that like this movie. It's not geared for kids, so you just get way more real, true action out of it. I don't know.
No, I hear you, Yeti. I mean, yeah, you definitely want, because when you focus on the martial arts, like that's the thing that makes the movie stand out. That's the thing that gets the people talking is the martial arts aspect, because it's so emphasized, and you get these memorable scenes that you can just watch over and over again. It's like one of those things where, like, granted, you want to watch the entire movie, obviously for the story involved, but it's just the scenes are so good. You can just watch clips of the fights alone over and over and over because of the repeat value that they have, because you see those moves and you're blown away. Like, look at the speed and look at how, like, once again, how he just does it. Like, he makes it look easy, even though everything he does is obviously it's tough to do. Like, the talent is.
Yep, it's the speed,
insane.
it's precision, it's the muscle memory, and the fact that that he's put over 20,000 hours into doing this one thing.
Yeah, and because it's geared towards adults, it feels like there's more stakes involved. Where the kids one, it doesn't feel like there's the same level of danger. It's cool to see, but I don't know, there's that feeling that you lose with it.
this scene is hysterical too. This is going by. Like, first he's smacking the guy, like, which shows you he's not all powerful either. Like, he hits the guy and he doesn't go down, right?
And he can't take this guy. He really, this is where you once again, Keanu Fate meets his match. He's like, oh crap, there's this big guy. Even my martial arts is not enough. Like, he's like, crap, how am I gonna take this guy? And then the scene that happens here when he realizes he can is hilarious.
Yeah, the kid hands. What does he hand him first?
Like, the power of the mullet.
Now, who is this guy? Because he looks so familiar to me.
He does look familiar.
helmet.
I was trying to figure out who he is. Yeah.
And now he's like, "Don't hit me with the wrench. Don't hit me with the
Like, come on, man.
please."
He's like,
All
I thought
right,
we were gonna fist fight.
Game over, man. Game over.
Oh,
I don't care who you are. That'll cave your skull right in like you're hitting a cantaloupe.
Yeah.
See, and once again, and that shows you, like, because there's a lot of people like to play this whole, well, the characters you love growing up were Mary Sue's. Is like, no, they were not. Look at this right here. This thing obviously crumbles any of those fake narratives. You see, obviously, Chade even earlier, obviously, with all the glass thrown at Keanu, like, or how about the fact that he is. He attaches himself to this Danny kid. That alone counts as a vulnerability, because that is his responsibility. This kid who can't, do anything because he's on a wheelchair. So he has all these attachments. He has all these things that go against him, despite his incredible strength. And so, no, he's anything but perfect. He's anything but invincible.
Oh, and I brought props
with
tonight
diversity, natural diversity there.
Yep.
The entire film.
Yep.
Like,
I got my Jackie Chan Rumble in the Bronx phone.
Oh, dude. Let's. Oh, yes. Yes.
Oh, the Motorola
Oh,
flip.
damn.
Yeah.
That was
Shown
like
this
a
before.
child's
The
toy.
Microtac. Was that the Microtac?
The start, yeah. The
I can't believe
Microtech,
how
yep.
things used to
Yeah,
look
yeah.
sometimes.
And see
All right.
how easy it is to dial, and look at that screen. So
The stylish new Nokia flip walkie-talkie comms device from 1969.
Now
Those
with the
last-
4-hour battery.
Yes.
well, I have the wait, guys. I paid extra. I got the extended life battery on there, and look.
Oh,
I
it's
can
got
change-
5 hours.
It's got
That's
5
back
hours.
in the
You
day
can
when you
change,
could hit somebody with it like it was a mag weight.
and look, it has an antenna and everything that you can.
All right.
Yeah.
Deleted scenes here says, yeah, Molokai was in Type Cop. That's how I recognize
that's
them.
right.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank you.
Steven.
Yeah, thank you, sir. Appreciate that.
Change the battery just like that. You can't do that on a modern cell phone. I'm ready for another 2 hours. of
Yep, you
talking.
just slide that bitch into your screw gun charger.
Yeah. I was laughing. I was watching. I'm like, shit, that's my phone that I still have because I never throw anything out. So
VW says they were the upgrade. They were-
yeah, yeah. Look at that. That's the phone. It's just everyone had that phone. So I mean,
You
Dating
should, if you
myself
ever
here,
see
but-
him at a convention, you need to have him sign that.
I signed it. Yeah.
Oh, that'd be the best.
It would, because he'd be like, "Why are you giving me a phone?"
He would sign it if you offered him dinner. You have to take him to dinner.
Yeah,
I don't think I'm
to
to the
dinner.
I don't think I'm sexy enough for him to ask me to dinner. Yep.
Well, what if he doesn't? What if there's good food? And he might accept there's good food involved. Let's be
Yeah.
real here.
Some
You
New
might
Haven
have
pizza.
hope, Mark. There
Yeah.
you go. See, there's the spirit. That New Haven, man. It changes a man's life.
Yeah.
And one day I will know. One
You will
day.
know. You'll change religions. Yep.
Oh, I between you and RC from the NYC, he keeps saying the day I go down to NY, like he says, Nick, you're gonna like freak out, which I probably will. I mean, it's pizza,
Yeah.
so I can't wait between you and him. Like I cannot wait to have pizza with the both of you.
Pizza
'cause they're
tour.
gonna be,
Yep.
we might have to do pizza reviews with the
That'd be
both
awesome.
of you guys. Yes.
Youngs didn't know what the cells were like that before you had shotgun size.
Oh yeah,
They
absolutely.
were weapons. Yeah,
I
and
was
then, or
in-
you
I
had
was
them in your.
I was in that line
you were
of
in the
business,
business, right?
In
Yeah.
the early '90s. Yeah, I sold the bricks at the Motorola brick, and then the earlier ones that were actually in a case, like Panasonic ones. They were in absolutely.
dude,
you had to carry
My
the whole
first
case
cell phone
around.
was in the car. It was permanent to the car. You couldn't take it out.
Yeah, I used to fit them in cars. Yeah, back
Yeah.
in the early '90s. It
Yeah,
changed
and
days
then,
indeed.
then you sold the one with the case, right? That you could take out of the
Yes.
car. You were saying, right? Yeah, that was a big deal. Like, take your cell
Yeah.
phone into the house and make
Yeah,
calls.
Exactly.
It's like, holy crap, Batman!
And then
I got
people already
got the
had
bat
Holy
phone.
crap, Batman!
people already had insanely high expectations of them at that time. Like, it doesn't work when I drive 2 miles down the road here. Well, there's no tower. Well, you do something about it.
Yeah, the first time I saw someone use a cell phone, it was in the car. Was Earl Reed, who's a comedian, he's a hysterical guy, and he was dating one of my buddies and friends in college. And he calls me, and he called me Grey Poupon because he made fun of where I was. So he's like,
I
down.
go great pooping.
he's Grey Poupon. He's like, excuse, but I don't want to, say where I live. But it's a more. So he would make fun of the town. So, and then he's calling me. He's like, look outside the window. He's like, I'm calling you. He's like, look outside the window. I'm like, what do you mean you're calling me? Where the fuck are you, Earl? He's like, I'm in the parking lot. I'm like, how are you doing that? And he's got he had this red convertible Corvette that was brand new. And he's like waving. He's like, I just got a car phone.
As
Like,
if
how
by
do you
magic.
It
It's
was
just
like the first
magic.
time I'm like, how do you have a phone in your car? Holy shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now it's like, who cares, right?
Now they're a
But,
curse.
Dude,
Yep.
I felt the impact of the store crumbling down.
Yeah.
And I'm like, fuck. They had a world record time of re-renovating the store, only for it to be done for good. One of the few clean areas in the not
Jeez.
Bronx area, because we had to emphasize the not Bronx.
It's probably
And-
where they built the new hockey arena on top of that area.
But was that a set they set up just like it couldn't have been a whole building, right? That must have just been a skeleton. But I mean, I don't know anything about the background, but I'm assuming, but it looked
I
pretty
was just
realistic
thinking,
the
could
way
that
they-
truck have actually pulled all that.
yeah. But I wonder if it was I'm guessing it was a set they built, but it did look awesome. Though. I mean,
It did
Well,
look
if
like
you,
they
if you
built
go
the
back a
set.
frame, if you look at the debris, those are like just commercial aluminum studs. So there, I don't see any structural material in there.
yeah, but it did. You're probably right, but it did look. They did a
Looked
nice
good.
job. Yeah, and it was pretty comedic too when she's on the can.
Yeah, it's probably a
He's
big
like-
gingerbread house, but it looked fucking
Yeah.
great on film.
She loses her mind.
Oh, wouldn't
Yeah,
you?
that story-
Yo, she got the Cleveland, dude. No.
That's worse than Lethal Weapon, right? When they had the
Oh,
same.
oh,
There goes her tub.
You should be blaming Jackie Chan. It's him and his family that have done this to her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
She
he's
inherited this job, and
he's the
she is
villain.
losing. Oh, he's the villain.
Where's Mads when you need him?
He's
Yeah,
like,
right.
hold on,
Villain
let's
of
see
the
if this
movie.
soaking wet cell phone works.
There's Mads.
Yeah,
right
look,
there.
car. There's a car.
I love
cell
how he
phone in the
stays
car. Look,
in the wet
California.
spot too. He stays
This
in the
is
wet
late
spot
90s.
when he's making his phone call. He stays in the wet in the spot where the water's sprinkling on him. He
Yeah.
refuses to move from that spot. I'm laughing so
Yeah.
hard. I'm like, it's hilarious. He's like, I know I got water sprinkling down on me, and I've got a phone in my hand that the water could just tear this phone apart. But I'm gonna stay in this spot. I mean, he's so stationary and committed to it.
He didn't want to go near her. He was going to get hit again.
Yeah, I
Well,
guess you
when
gotta
you
pick
find
and
the
choose
wet
your
spot,
battles.
you want to commit to it. You don't leave.
Yeah, you did.
Damn it, Yeti.
Until you're done.
Oh fuck.
I always class
Oh,
up the
man.
joint.
No,
Yeah.
no. I'm absolutely welcomed here. That's what we do here on Toxic Tuesday. Like,
Wait, go back one frame.
Looks
You
like
can do
Reggie
it, Jack
Johnson.
Which one? Oh, that
I
one?
believe in you. You got this.
Just random black guy smoking a cigar.
Yeah.
It's Reggie Vale Johnson from Die Hard.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh yeah, it is.
That would have been awesome.
Well, I'm just saying that. It's not him.
Oh, see, it looked like first. Oh yeah, you're
That
right.
would've been cool.
It looked like him for a second from like a
Yeah.
quick glance. I'm like, oh hey, look, it's him. No, darn, darn. I stand
It
corrected.
would have been good if it was.
Oh, I know, right? Like, hey, it's Mr. Die Hard Man because he obviously is only in 1 and 2 and not 3.
Too bad you didn't get Steven Seagal as one of the bad guys, right? It's one of the guys in the suits. That was a
Yeah,
fun
God.
fight.
Steven Seagal would have been the
Oh,
great
that's a
villain
fat
for this
one.
movie.
Oh God, I don't know about that.
You don't
this
know.
I think that would have taken away from the film.
I'm joking. Yeah.
I'm sorry, but his acting was never top notch, and
No, that's why
compared
you
to
just make him
Jackie
head
Chan,
thug.
oh,
Doesn't that guy look like Beaker from the Muppets?
He does look like Baker, yeah. But he would have been, he's got that look though, Seagal. So
Oh my God, he does
what,
have a very,
constipated and hungry at the same time.
yeah, for a bad guy, yeah, it works for the bad guy. Look, yeah.
I am hungry.
He's the chef in Under Siege, right? Yep.
Yeah,
And of course, this guy's just playing golf,
that?
right? Just the mob guy's just playing golf. Yep.
hey, just so you know, they're gonna come for you, man. So you better watch out. And then we get that giant hover, and everything just goes so off the rails, like crazy.
He's got that is a great bonnet he's wearing.
I know. I want that hat.
Isn't that brilliant?
I don't even golf, and I want that hat.
That's right.
So some Book
Classic.
of Soul Assassins says Fat Steven Seagal for the villain.
The villain. That's right.
I think that would have been cultural appropriation if you wore that, Jesse.
Yeah, it would be, but whatever.
You're so appropriate. Ugh. Oh God, I love this.
I'm a mutt. I could do whatever I want.
Oh, you're a mutt. I did
I'm
not know
diverse.
that.
I got 6 things in me.
Whoa.
After that, it doesn't matter.
Well, enough of
Currently,
that.
Oh,
currently
what
he
it
has
says.
6 things in him.
wow.
I don't know. Usually, if I respond to people,
Sentient
they ask me
dildo
where I'm
enters
from,
the
I piss
chat.
them off. Usually, just as I said to Nick, I'm like, oh yeah, from the parts of
Meatball.
Europe where white met bread. Norse, German, and English. You really don't get much whiter than that.
No, you are a pasty man, dude.
Explode in the sun.
You're pure white. You're organic white bread.
Something like that.
What's the whitest of white bread?
Irish
Wonder
as fuck.
Wonder Bread.
Wonder
See,
Bread.
I wondered if it just would have been Germany just for their pursuit of purity. You know, does that put them there at like?
I don't know.
I think that's a rather deeper conversation for a different time. Let's file that one for another time. I think.
Yes. No.
This wasn't supposed to be a serious conversation either. It was supposed
No,
to be stupid, but
I'm not sure we want to go there. Yes.
No.
We'll talk about that
clearly
one
it
too.
sounds
Serious.
way more horrifying than what I thought it was in my head. Like,
No.
You notice that every guy in a suit in this movie looks like the same guys who testified before Congress about steroid use in the NFL.
That's right. Well, they're definitely wearing a uniform. They're all wearing
Yeah.
the same uniform.
Men in Black. Yep.
Bit of a giveaway, really. You know.
But like,
Not
look, we've
true.
already bought the wardrobe, so you need to find a whole bunch of guys that fit an extra large tall suit.
Yeah. Mark's Work Warehouse was having a sale.
Yeah, size
This is a great
72
scene, too.
jacket. Go,
I
go
love
make
this
it
scene
happen.
too. Yeah.
So,
Then it
More
gets
okay.
thin
stuck here.
spaces, more narrow spaces.
I know, right? He see once again that if that was Chuck Norris, the spaces would have moved for Chuck Norris. Like the spaces would have just magically
The buildings
moved.
would have parted, yes.
Yeah, it was we're
And
in
the
Chuck's
sea
way.
would have parted in front of him.
Yeah, that we're in Chuck's way. So
There you
you
go.
guys,
He's
we
doing
gotta
a bit of
move.
Chuck.
It's like, hey, how you doing? Are you getting crushed?
Yeah. They get
You
saved
okay,
by the cop
Jackie?
here.
You want a
How
coffee?
you doing? How you
Think
doing?
thin.
He definitely had to look like he was trying to like hit on Jackie Chan. He's just like,
Yeah.
hey, you stuck in there? Need me to do something about that? Yeah. And he's like, hey, don't look here. It's nothing to see. What? Dude, shoot this asshole. I was doing things
Yeah.
in here. Oh my god. All right, so
That's not the guy from Happy Gilmore, is it?
No, that's
I don't know.
it lost his hand in Happy Gilmore.
Yeah,
That's,
my
Apollo
character
Creed.
actors
I thought
in
that
my
was
head all
Apollo.
blend together.
I thought it was Apollo, not Apollo Creed.
Hey, yo, Apollo.
I know who you're thinking. 70s. I can't remember the name either.
Yeah.
Carl Weathers.
Yes.
Carl Weathers.
Carl
It was
Weathers.
Carl
That was
Weathers,
Carl
isn't it?
Weathers?
I think
No,
so.
no, it's not Carl
Who
Weathers,
am I thinking
no.
of? Who am I thinking of?
I don't know. Who are you? Who are you thinking
God,
of?
I've seen Happy Gilmore about 15 times and I can't.
Well, that's Carl Weathers in Happy Gilmore, but
That's what I thought.
80s and 90s character actors. You don't know who they are.
It was Carl Weathers. Yeah, he lost
Oh, I
his
thought you
hand
were
in-
yeah, I thought you
in
meant,
Happy
meant
Gilmore.
something in another movie. Yeah, no,
Yeah.
Carl Weathers is not. Yeah,
And the wonderful Christopher McDonald as Shooter McGavin.
no, yeah.
Shooter McGavin.
And that's your favorite movie, 70s, right? Because he plays golf like a hockey player, right?
Yeah, exactly. It's the best. He's the bestest golf player in the world, and he gets eaten up by Bob Barker. So how much more perfect?
Oh,
could that be?
dude, the price is right. Oh,
And Richard
so
Keel's
good.
in it. Come on,
the price is wrong, bitch.
Oh yeah, Price
right.
is raw. That's what I said. Price is raw, man. He beats the shit out of him, man. It's hilarious.
File
Could we do that
away
movie for a comedy
I
Toxic
was going to
Tuesday?
say,
maybe?
file that away for a
Yeah.
future.
Yeah, it could be
That
Potential.
that will be that's got
Potential.
it's got potential. No, it does have potential. It really does have toxic potential. We'll call it toxicity potential. There we go. We just
Yeah.
coined a new one.
And it's like his
Toxicity
last funny movie.
potential. Oh, I know, right?
Yeah,
It really
yeah.
was. Because then, like, I mean, I wouldn't call it. It had funny moments, but I was entertained by the Waterboy, and I guess you got to say I think Henry Winkler for carrying the Waterboy. Henry Winkler totally carried the Waterboy. I like Big Daddy at parts, and I lied. I like Little Nicky.
I got a couple
Little
laughs
Nicky
out
is
of
the
Little
best
Nicky.
one. It's like, hey,
It's his
who is
voices.
this guy
It's
who's
always the same
Satan?
voice. Oh, sorry, Jesse. Go.
No, sorry.
That
Popeye's
last Netflix
chicken.
thing he did was horrendous with Jennifer.
Oh, of course
Aniston.
it was.
awful.
Oh, what a
I
shock!
couldn't
What was
watch
the
it.
one where he was at summer
yeah.
camp, the summer camp reunion movie? I thought that was kind of funny in some ways, but it's like a cheesy summer camp. They were all the
After his stupid movies were done, it was just kind of like, hey, it all started with anger management. He got serious.
Oh, dude, that I remember at the time I was highly anticipating anger management because just of him. The fact that it was such opposites attract. Like, oh man, I love Sandler, I love Nicholson, and they're doing a movie on Anger Management. It looked like it was gonna be like this balls to the wall, all out
And then it wasn't
comedy,
any good.
and then it wasn't good at all. I'm like, whoa, what the hell
How the
is
fuck
this
did
false
that happen?
advertisement?
It still looks like a masterpiece compared to, the Hubby Halloween or whatever that thing was on Netflix.
Or that thing where he played his own sister.
Oh God, Jack and Jill, yeah.
Oh, that's
Poke my eyes out.
My
yes.
favorite Adam Sandler movie, besides Little Nicky, would have to be Airheads
Oh,
with Brendan Fraser.
It's all right.
here we go again. And our boy
Steve
here
Buscemi.
is not done trying to
Yep.
wow us as he climbs up the pole like in a natural stripper, and he's just like, I'm gonna.
You see,
he's
again,
like,
Mad Martigan should be here. So a man
Yeah.
climbing up a pole, that's his right.
that's
and
his spiel, and he slides to the other side, holding on to the pole. And I see Philip Blair. Aloha to you. How you doing? Nice to see you here.
Hell, Philip. And he jumps to another pole, too.
So,
in a
yeah, he
second.
hops to another pole, and that pole slides
You make a
down.
good pirate.
Yeah.
Or Gold Digger, who one pole to the next.
Dude, he was sliding up and down poles, all to get to the big boy.
Damn, look at that. He's fucking insane.
Dude,
Yeah.
that is
What an asshole. Why is he doing this in real life?
And he was
like-
probably up there, right? I mean, he's up
This
at
is
the
why
top.
God invented computers.
Dude,
So-
he's got balls of steel, man.
He gets smashed around.
he
by
probably
this
actually
thing
had
auto
surgery
character.
on his ball, so now they're probably actually literally made
Well,
of steel
clearly,
nowadays.
because that girl kicked him right in the groin earlier in the movie, and he got
Yeah.
up like 5 seconds later.
Oh,
and started
that's
fighting.
No, I think Jackie Chan's balls were so big he had to have a ball reduction surgery because they're just weighting him down too much.
Nickname is Iron
And this-
Balls McGinty.
This
Now,
is where
right
he wrecks
here
his
in real life
ankles.
when he did this, he already had a broken ankle and he
No,
had
no,
a
he didn't have.
hover-
No, this is where he breaks his ankle.
Oh, this ain't the hovercraft.
So
he's
watch
jumping
here.
around to?
Yeah, watch where you can see his ankle just turn the wrong. You might not want to look at it.
God, oh
But
no.
no,
no,
watch
I
it.
want to see it. I want to see it. I want to see it. I
Oh,
wanna
no,
see it.
no,
Yeah,
no,
yeah,
no,
yeah,
it's
yeah,
gonna
yeah.
happen.
Film.
Oh shit! Oh,
I've never seen it from that angle.
oh my God!
He is not getting
Oh,
up.
he goes down too.
That shit
he goes
is
down
to the right.
And yet those guys are still scared shitless, even though he busted his shit, and they're still scared shitless of him.
Well, they
That's
heard
the
his
funny
ankle
part.
snap. That's why they're. Oh my God! what
They're
was that?
cringing as hard as
Did you
we
see
are.
his face at the end though? There was
Oh.
pain in there. Oh God, we gotta do this again. Oh,
Well,
you
Yeah,
son of a
do it
bitch!
again, do it.
You son of a bitch!
Do it.
I set the film to quarter speed.
Oh God!
No, no,
Oh,
it's
I
perfect.
feel it. I feel it coming.
Yes, do it. Do it.
I
Do
feel
it.
it.
Do it.
Yes,
Back
exactly,
and to the
Isaiah.
left.
Exactly. Exactly.
Back.
No room to absorb the impact.
And to the left.
It's a
Dude.
goddamn moving target.
Dude.
I also don't think
Jackie
he's supposed
Chan's
to land on
balls
his feet there either.
You
are
know the
so
thing
big.
is, it's a boat, so it's rocking back and forth. So there's no way to really tell. So you're just going into it.
it's a movie.
Right, Brian? That was horrific. Let's see it again.
And they use the cut
guys.
Zoom in on
All
this
right,
too.
brace yourself.
Oh
brace
no,
yourself.
no!
Yes.
Oh, I
yes.
feel it. I feel it coming. Oh, you son
You
of a
gotta go
bitch!
big screen.
And
for
when you
this.
look at
Oh
it,
my
that's
God,
not
no.
as far as when he jumped off the goddamn building. But look what happens.
How
Oh,
did
no. How? Oh no!
The anticipation.
When did you get more screenshots?
I know.
Oh God! No!
Yeah.
This is so much worse. This is so much worse. It's going slow. Oh my God, you
That's
asshole!
when he touched the That's when it's still, like, can you pause it right there? One back. Because it's like, imagine if his leg didn't have a foot on it. Like
Oh
the
my
bottom of
God.
his leg would be touching the deck, but he's still got the foot attached because it's over to the left. Or to
God bless
his
Jackie.
right.
All right, Soul Assassin. There
no.
should be.
There
There
is
should
a
be.
bunch.
Yes,
there
I
is
have
a bunch
it
of
clipped,
bloopers.
yep.
Yeah.
Oh, that is fucking horrifying.
God damn! That's facing the wrong direction.
You guys ever see how many damn bones are in your ankle? Because that's a lot.
Yeah.
I'm trying to see his face.
You ever
here.
wonder why they say your
Oh, he's in
body's
pain.
got so many bones in it?
Yeah,
Dude, yeah.
There you go.
The thing is dangerous. I'm yelling out loud watching this.
Look at his face right there.
I've
His-
torn
oh, fuck.
every single ligament in both my
Yeah.
ankles.
yeah. Look at his face. His face there.
It was not fun.
Yeah, he's going
That's-
straight back to his back.
That's
So he
not.
could scream at the
Naked
sky for
fame,
a
singing
second.
from the critical drinker. Nah, it'll be fine.
It'll be fine. Walk it
It'll be
off.
fine.
Rub some dirt on it.
Just a minor flesh wound. Yep.
That's
But,
right.
tells you how
Put
bad
some sand on it. Rub some sand on it. It'll be.
Well,
I think the
so
toxic
I've
score
broken a
just went
number
way
of
up.
bones in my body, and I
Have you?
like didn't know it till much later because my dad would be like, "Oh, you can still move it, so it's fine. Just walk it off. You're okay."
Mm-hmm.
And years later, I get all these X-rays, and they're like, "You've broken every single one of your fingers." So, like, I did. I got a bunch of broken toes, ribs. I got a fractured wrist where I've got a bump from it healing over. Like, yeah. There was a rule in my family where you didn't go to the hospital unless you were dying.
You know what happened to me as a toddler? I'd put my foot in the front of the tricycle, and I'd broken my leg. I was like 2 or 3,
Oh,
and I kept crying like for the whole next day. So my mom's like feeding me candy and all this stuff, and like, why is Mark crying? Why is he crying? The whole
He
next
wants
day,
more
my dad
candy.
and like he's not eating the candy. That's unusual for him. And then my mom is like, finally, dad's like, why don't we just take him to see doctor? It was the old Dr. Kitchen, and she like gets to the emergency. She's like, oh, actually, Carol, actually his leg is actually broken. That's why she's crying. Why he's crying. And so she like she tells us, I was too young to remember, but she broke down in tears, like, because she like was getting mad at me and like annoyed and trying to like stop me from crying, But I still have the cast. The cast is like, this little tiny cast that barely fits on my arm. But thankfully I don't remember that. But
Hey guys, it's NYC police in Vancouver. This looks fun to do when Keanu's hanging on to the rope. That actually looks fun to do. Like as crazy as that looks.
Well,
Looks
he had
fun.
remember
to
when
learn
this
how to
happened
do
in the
that just
movie.
for this scene, right?
And this is when you know that the villains are villains because they see these people and they're not hesitating for them. They're like, no, we're gonna go through, we're gonna plow through, don't stop, we don't compromise. That is the that's unreasonable people right there. That is pure villainy, which is that's missed. So missed.
What do you think the cops are thinking when they see the one lone asshole water skiing behind the hovercraft going to kick some ass?
Yeah, hey, anyone want to send this movie to Simu Liu to let him know there's awesome Asian leads, in the 90s? I don't know if he wants to pretend that didn't happen, but hey, if you want to send Simu Soybu this flick, he can stop pretending. Like, hey, yes, there's so many. This is the first one. I
know, jeez.
how much of these stuntmen get paid, right? I mean, they got run over.
Yeah, right. Deleted scenes. They are literally out of their jurisdiction.
Imagine if
His
you're one of
face
these
there.
cops, though, and it's like you look down and all of a sudden you're like, is that Chinese Batman? Chinese Batman wears dungarees head to toe.
And you want to know how you can definitely tell it's not the Bronx? The water is way too clean.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
Dude, did Jet Li ever do stunts like this though?
No.
No, he's not crazy.
Not that I'm
Yeah,
aware
That
of.
guy, he's like, holy shit, look at that asshole out there. Run.
And it keeps going too. Like they don't stop. That's the thing. Like in most movies, this would be about the part. It's like, okay, it's on land. Now we gotta stop. This thing, no, we're not done. You thought we settled at the sand. Wait till we hit the streets, and then we're gonna go even bigger and get into the neighborhoods. Like this thing, they don't quit with this thing, and that's what you want of a threatening, imposing like group of villains. You need them to like really make you feel like, holy crap, these guys will win if you don't stop them.
Yes. Yep. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Someone got hurt
because they got one
too.
mission.
Yeah.
Like they want their money and they're going to get it. It doesn't matter what the cost is, who gets in their way, they're going to do it. So we're seriously lacking good villains these days.
Yes.
Jackie
No.
Chan's like, I got a broken leg and I'm the only one who could save this little girl. Where are your parents?
It's funny, and yet the bad guys are
Parents fled and
terrified.
left her behind.
No,
Dump the kid. Dump the kid. Get out
It's
of
up
here.
the kid.
We can make another.
Okay, but yeah,
Throw the
dude,
kid.
that was it. You saw
Throw
he
the
did
kid,
toss,
Oh my
yeah.
god.
No, the
Oh, I
mom's
don't
dad
even
just
remember
said-
him getting run over.
Gets run
did.
over, yeah.
Luckily, it's a
He gets
hovercraft.
sanded. He gets sanded. However,
Shit, so that means he got actually run over by that thing because he does everything for real, you know?
Oh, yeah.
Yes. and if I remember correctly, it's part of the blooper reel, so they did it more than once.
Of course they did.
Look at the back of his fucking jacket shredded now.
Oh my god.
That's because this guy's fucking insane. He did all this
Dude.
for one movie.
One movie. And each one of his movies, you see their blooper reel, and it's
Amazing and horrifying.
more insane
all
than the
at same time.
next.
It's like Jackass.
Dude, he
Fuck,
he
it
was
is. It's the original
he was
Jackass.
the jackass.
That's
He
like
was
a-
the
Dude, you're right.
jackass. Oh my god, yeah, right. No, Jesse's spot on. He
It was
the
all the
jackass.
danger without the gross stuff.
Oh my
Yeah.
god, you just blew my mind. No,
There's
it's
a
so
Jackass movie
true.
coming out.
Come on.
No, he's right. I agree. That is probably the most spot on statement anyone has said on this panel tonight. It really is. Like that's a grand slam of a statement.
why I call it-
Like,
Yes,
okay,
like
guys,
cannabis.
it's over. Pack it in. We're it's all downhill from here.
yeah,
Look how
right.
the guy gets out of the wheelchair here. Watch this. See the guy jumps. Starts to walk away.
It's a miracle.
It's a miracle.
His wife was like, "You lazy bastard! You lazy lion bastard!"
Hey, Pop Culture Republic, how you doing? Thank you for dropping by. Nice
Hey,
to see you
Cole-
here in the chat. Go on, Jesse.
If you shot at this thing with like a 45, would you pop this thing?
I
You
don't
would,
know
yeah.
you-
If the skirt loses, what you see later,
I think
small
you-
bullets probably wouldn't do enough. But,
No, you need quite a bit
Yeah.
to destroy the skirt enough to stop the air being retained.
It wouldn't just rip open.
No, I don't think so.
I guess it all depends on the material.
They used to
I'm
use
assuming it's got to be
these-
pretty tough.
This
Yeah,
is
they
where
used
you
to
need
use-
my post-apocalyptic school bus covered in chainsaws.
Yeah, hovercrafts were pretty useful in the 70s. You know, they used a lot of them in the 60s, 70s, and 80s, and even they had one going over the English Channel on a regular.
And
trip,
the Marines
so
actually still have one because I worked at a factory
they're,
in
they're very useful.
Stratford that made them, and the Marines still have them in service. Yep.
Oh,
Yeah.
you fucked up that car. I didn't remember that.
Oh,
I
dude,
swear
it
to
gets
God.
better. It gets better. That they haven't
Yeah.
even fucked up the car yet
yeah.
completely.
Oh,
it
and
gets
that's
better,
the car
Jesse.
back then, right?
You-
That's the car
oh,
everyone
yeah.
wanted, that Lamborghini.
It's a
But
lot of money.
Ooh,
I swear to God, there's a different take where she was giving Roadhead because that the whole feel in the car was just a little off. And I think they took some different shot. They're like, okay, this is a little too much for the audience. Like if you rewind and take a look at like what was going
Yeah.
on, I think there
I
was
think you're right. I think you're
way
right.
more going on in that car.
I didn't want to clip that though.
Yo, is this guy ever going to finish that cigar? Why is there a mascot there? What the fuck is going on with
Everyone's
that?
dressed up in their costumes.
Yeah.
And the girl's still twirling fire. That's dedication.
And the
it
band
is.
was still performing too. Despite all this, the band still kept performing. Like you want,
Dude, that's 'cause they're metal. They,
Yeah.
they were metal as fuck.
You think the
Hey.
girl throw it with the fire would at least try to fucking throw it onto that thing and melt that shit?
Look at them. The air's blowing and they just rock harder.
Yeah, exactly.
And that
Rock
is
on.
why the show must go on.
Why
You
is
don't
that guy
just
dressed
stop
like Dudley
Because there's a
Do-Right?
hover that shows up. You
Because
keep
Vancouver
playing.
in the 90s.
Oh yeah.
You live and die by rock and roll. You live and die for the metal. And if you can't literally die for it, well, then that's a you problem. And if you want to talk about a great way to take the hover out, just take a
Awesome.
giant blade and just freaking sideline it. Like, dude, perfect.
With a Lamborghini
I,
Countach.
Yeah.
I
But it's
love
still this was the least believable thing in the movie for me, because the amount of force in order to keep, they're showing his foot against it, right?
Yes, but
Oh,
Jackie
yeah,
Chan
it would
has
have been flying
awesome
right out of the
legs.
car. He would have broken his leg again.
Yeah, it would have shattered that thing. He would have been needing like bolts in his legs. It would have been all metal after that point. Like, there's no way he need to attach it to the trunk or back or just something welded on, not holding it there with his foot.
Or
Least
use that
believable thing in the
sweet
movie for
fucking
me.
car and use it to throw Molotov cocktails onto the hovercraft. Fire always works.
he
Teasy
shoots
say
the guy here with
he
his
would
pole.
be dead.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I love it. He shoots the shit
Oh, yeah,
out
we
of
all
him.
A little
fuck.
toxic there, especially if he's a cop, right?
It was still like such a cool moment and cool way to take that thing down. It bugged me that he just held it with his leg, because everything else I could buy. There's a certain level and technique to everything Jackie Chan does that makes it believable, but
Jumping
not that.
between tall buildings in a single bound.
He's like, here, now we got you a hovercraft.
Hail, JM Cruz. What's up, dude? How you doing? He hails all the way from the Philippines. Nice to see you here in the chat. And he does have a channel, so go subscribe to. He actually had the Critical Drinker on talking movies on about 2 or 3 weeks ago.
Damn.
So yeah, shout out to JM Cruz. He made that one happen.
Nice.
This
is my other,
We need
my other
tips.
bullshit. My other
Did you
bullshit.
just fix that with duct tape?
Yeah,
I
that's
was just
the
about to make
A-team
that
scene.
comment.
The
Well, hey,
A-team, that's
guys,
other bullshit.
It's the age-old saying: if duct tape ain't working, you use more duct tape. That's just
Well,
how it
that's
is.
called Flex Seal. Flex Seal will take care of
Patented
everything.
Flex seal.
And okay, this is one of the few complaints I had of this movie is when this great scene happens, the movie is done. It's literally done. We don't see the grocery store lady like, hey, you recover.
Yeah.
Could you come back with money for me or jewelry in exchange? We don't see Danny and his sister and Keanu go home. Like maybe like, hey, we won the day. Let's go get like a celebration dinner. It's just like this guy gets run over. He's naked, and that's it. It's very abrupt. It's very abrupt.
They just go fuck exposition. run them over, bare ass.
Again, Mad
roll
Martigan's
credits.
not here when you need him.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. Where's Matt? What's up, Tehelum29? Nice to see you here. Great to see you. Yeah, rush hour. Yeah,
See,
maybe
she
one
looks
day we'll
better
get-
there.
Doesn't
at
she look
least.
pretty there? Yeah, they made her.
Yeah. But
And then this
like,
is it.
who else feels bad for her though? Like the entire setup was him falling for her, and then the supermodel shows up halfway through the movie, and then suddenly he's like, "Oh, this is the girl for me."
Right. And yet she's the one who's there celebrating with them, and she wanted him first, and there she is celebrating. That's what's so funny.
Oh my god, yeah. Like there's no chemistry. They were even flirting, like you said, when they're closing the store. There were so many moments of flirting together. Right from the beginning, shot 2, she makes a joke about him being like fit and looking like a monkey or something.
Yep.
It's because
She was doing his poses.
because he was
Yeah.
looking out in the
Poses.
one-way mirror.
Yep.
But all that sets up for her to be some romantic interest, not
it doesn't go anywhere. She turns
it
into a
goes
bit of a
nowhere.
figure
She's
of
left
fun.
alone.
She's actually made fun of at the end, really, with the toilet scenes.
It's such a big bait and switch. I feel terrible for her.
Mm-hmm. No,
I
do
feel
too.
good for Jackie
So-
because goddamn.
Wiped out here. Yep.
So I got a bit of trivia for you.
Oh,
Yeah.
God.
At the
go for it.
There you
MTV
go.
Movie Awards, Jackie Chan was nominated for best fight scenes for this movie. Do you
As
know?
he should.
Do you know which fight he lost out to in the?
Oh.
God, it's gonna be bad, isn't it?
Oh,
What year
Hold
was
on.
this?
Take care, Guyver Mecton.
95.
Thank you for hanging out.
It's from 95. Fuck
Okay.
me.
Yeah,
Mortal
what are
Kombat.
movies from?
I'll give you a
action
clue.
movies from
We've
90.
already
Demolition Man.
No, I'll give you a clue. We've already mentioned it.
But there's the crew taking,
It
after
was-
the jump, they're taking care of him. Yeah.
It was Bob Barker and Adam Sandler.
No.
Happy Gilmore,
Oh.
which was also filmed in Vancouver.
That's a travesty.
But they lost out in
There is
that
no
fight.
justice in this world.
Oh my
The price,
That is
that
MTV.
Dude.
the price was definitely wrong there.
I mean, it's a
I
great
don't-
fight, but it's a comedy fight.
Yeah, there's
Not a-
part of
not a
it
fight
that
like
is
this,
so
yeah.
amazing. I would vote for it because it's Bob Barker just
That's
taking
why-
down
I mean,
a
it's
young
MTV music.
man.
MTV Movie Awards.
Can I
That
just
was
say
serious,
$1,
But-
Bob?
That's
But
why
then
it
you
won.
got Jackie Chan really fighting.
Yeah. But it's ironic that we mentioned that. And
And destroying his leg.
Yeah, who do you think picked up the other part of his foot and brought it along?
Oh God.
There's a scene that was cut in the U.S. version, and she's at the wedding, and she wipes out the girl on top of the
Soul
table.
Assassin. Bob Barker needs to be a villain in a champ.
Oh, that would be amazing.
Zombie Bob
That would be
Barker.
so good.
you could have played a Bond villain, really, if the right.
Oh,
Dude,
sorry, this is where the
yeah.
stunt girl gets wiped out too. Unfortunately, she goes
This is
over
it.
Ooh, this
Gets
does
over
not
the
look
top.
good.
Oh, see, women can't drive.
Ooh, this is not,
Too soon.
oh, No part of that looks paid.
Yeah, that does look
proper.
And that's exactly how I broke my ribs on a dirt bike when I was 12.
Right, the handlebars.
I've been over
and
the.
face
I've been over the.
flat.
I've been over the top of the handlebars before.
Then
It's
a guy-
not a fun view. Yeah.
It was a very similar circumstance to right there, just straight in
Boom.
and over. It wasn't fun.
all right. So Imperatus, where do you rank this movie on 1 and 10 in toxicity and in 1 and 10 in greatness?
Toxicity, I'm only really going to give it a 5.
Okay, and why so?
There's not really a whole lot of toxicity to it, and what's
Okay.
there is kind of tame,
Okay,
at least by my standards.
okay.
And as far as greatness, while this was one of Jackie Chan's good, great movies, it's not one of my personal favorites, but I'd say it's like a 7.5 out of 10 for me.
Okay. Thanks for being honest. It's all we can ask here on the panel. Awesome.
And now you're never
final
invited back.
thoughts? Any final thoughts on this movie?
Let me go last on that because I'm going to make Mark work a little bit because I'm going to have some recommendations for the chat.
All right. Remind me in case I forget.
Yeah,
Jesse, go ahead and do some scores and final thoughts.
Well, overall, as low budget and all that shit as it is, I got to give this movie an 8 because, the amount of physicality involved in this and the way it broke him through to America and basically create a legend over here.
Mm-hmm.
It really is like a footnote movie in the cinematic history of our culture. But, as far as toxicity, I would have to also give it a 5 because it's not, he's Mr. Nice Guy. The only toxicity comes from he is the ultimate alpha male. So I don't know, maybe even less, maybe a 3 for toxicity.
All right.
Handy Randy's 10 because imagine Handy Randy trying to do some Jackie Chan shit.
He loses hands. Yeah, no, you're all right. Cool. Preach it, Jesse. Awesome. Thank you.
Oh,
Mark.
this scene was so cool too. He gets out of that car so quick. I'm
Right in the nuts.
sorry, Nick.
No, that's okay.
No,
That's
it's
all right.
okay.
Yep.
Mark, do your scores, and
Sure.
while Mark does the scores, chat. Why don't you tell us your scores on toxicity and in greatness as well in the
Look,
chat?
see, it landed on his balls there too. It looked like.
Oh,
It's one way to park your bike. Yeah.
Yeah, look
so
at
he's
this. I
definitely
think
got
it's- I
shade.
think
He's
it's-
got shade balls.
That was a different take. I
Oof.
think it looks like it's like right. That doesn't look like he's not as clear there.
Yeah.
No, he was falling. Like
This is the blooper
Just
reel.
Yeah,
it's
so
not
I
the
think-
first time that guy had a lot of rubber up his ass. I'm sure.
These are hilarious bloopers. This guy got hit in the balls with a dirt bike.
did he get really hit in the balls though? Or
It's
did
probably
it
one
was
of
it
Max,
grazing?
I think it was like,
Gently caressed.
yeah, I think it was just one of those things where it, like just grazed
Just
and he was like,
missed
oh,
it.
oh boy.
All right,
Or that explains why his children were failures right
All
there.
right. Mark, go ahead.
Okay, so so I'd give this movie an 8 overall.
Mhm.
It's a really fun popcorn movie to watch. Everyone should watch it. Stunt wise, I'm giving it a 10 because it's freaking amazing, and the fights. So on that level, it's super awesome. Toxicity. Sorry about that.
No, it's okay, dude.
See how toxic it is. Yep. So I'd give it only a 5 on this. I'd say the wood chipper scene, some of the fights are, the bad guys are toxic, but there's really no overt, craziness here. Just the stunts are so toxic, and the movie is toxic because how many people went to the hospital while while making it, right? So if you want to rate it like that, and no Handy Randys because I don't know if Handy Randy could do any of these stunts.
No, Handy Randy doesn't last through this movie.
Yeah.
He would have fallen off the roof.
Yep. But
right.
it's awesome. Yep.
Cool. Awesome. Well, thank you, Mark. Appreciate your score. 70s. Go ahead and do your scores and
I
final
think
thoughts.
I think I'd give it 1 broken ankle out of 2. I actually don't think it's all that toxic, really. I'll give it a 5, but that's partly because the destruction of the poor lady's supermarket was probably pretty toxic. She suffered badly. I think there's a lot of toxicity in what happened to her. So I'll only give it 5 though, really, for that. I think it's generally speaking, there's a lot of less toxicity, more it's great action, very enjoyable, but it's not really that toxic per se. And I'd probably, as I say, it's only the second time I'd seen it and watched it again for this show, and I really thoroughly enjoyed it. Very enjoyable movie, popcorn movie. I'll give it an 8 out of 10.
All right, killer. And last but absolutely not least, YetiCast. I'll sound off on your final scores and your final thoughts.
Well, I think I'm going to have a little bit different take than you guys because Toxicity, it's like 9.5 because it goes over the age-old, not tradition, but story of
trope.
Everybody wants a hot piece of ass over a successful businesswoman. You know? So there is full-blown toxicity right there. You had someone who was like a great personality, very successful, and then he's like, model, cool, I'm going after that. So highly toxic right there. But a movie, this thing gets at least a 9. I am so glad I watched it. Honestly, I can't tell you how good or how much fun I just had watching this thing. Compared to things that are coming out now, like I was enthralled. It was fun. It was it was entertaining. It hit every single box I wanted in a movie. And I wish there was more stuff like this today. You know, there was just everything I liked.
Killer. Awesome, dude. Awesome. Thank you. No, I appreciate it, man. All right. So I'm going to read off on some scores here. A Book of Soul Assassins gave it a 5 out of 5 on the Handy Randies and 5 out of 5 on Toxicity, 8 out of 12 Pepsis out of a 12 pack. Well done, Soul Assassin. That's genius. And then we got Delete Scenes, movie 7, Toxicity 4, Stunts 10 because no one died. Yeah, that is a testament to that.
Good
and
point.
Brian Yoder, Toxicity 6, he's a nice guy, but given the choice of the nice girl or the hot chick, he goes for the hot chick. I would say that's a toxicity point. So
There you
I know.
go.
yeah. So,
Plus, you
Let me ask
also
a
have
question.
to.
How's he supposed to run with this thing on?
Jackie has
Yes.
massive balls. That's his score. Handy Randy says the lack of enthusiasm for me is shocking. Wait till I get a hoverboard.
It'll only be able to go in a circle though, because you can only drive it with one hand.
And then Rudy calls it, wait for it, a triumph. I see what he did there. And then Commenting is Dangerous says Rumble's definitely near the apex of actions movies. They kind of started heading downhill after Jackie and Jet Li set the standard. Ooh, yeah, no, that yeah, they definitely it was almost like they set it too high. So
Right?
Yeah, no, they really did. It's a bar by which all others have now been been against since. And to close out this last comment before we announce our next movie, Impuritus recommended some movies as well that we're going to put in the chat. So you guys know, if you happen to know them, great. But if you haven't seen them and you're looking for something that you may have missed, the link is not the link, but the list of movies. Thanks to Impuritus. Thank you. Hey, Impuritus, thank you for coming on and joining us. And
no problem. I had a great time. It was nice
Good.
meeting everybody that I haven't, met before.
yeah,
Great to meet you. Yep.
I love that they covered a sock in latex and then just glued cut up parts of his shoe to it.
When you're working with $7.5 million and that's it,
but Jesse,
you work with what you got.
I can
Yeah,
tell
it
you
looks
it's
pretty good.
doable.
It's brilliant.
Because I tore every single ligament in both my legs, and I couldn't sit still, so I had a cast on, and I went out. I was playing road hockey, so like you can do it. It hurts a little bit, but you can do it. So I know from experience he can do that.
Walking triage.
Oh yeah,
This guy on set.
all my injuries are horrifying, and they did catch up with me. So.
recognize that?
I do.
Those are brass balls.
Brass balls.
Yes. Keep
Are you saying I've got them or he does? Okay.
Oh, okay. Yep.
that is next week's Toxic Tuesday flick.
Oh.
Next week we'll be doing the Warriors for Toxic Tuesday next week. So yes, and yeah, Commenting is Dangerous. Come on,
I love
play.
that movie. So.
Naked Fame Warriors. Yeah, so that is our flick for next week. I just want to give a little tease.
Movie from when I was a kid. Yep.
Yes.
Yeah, the baseball Furies are fucking awesome.
Conting say he called it. Hey, dude, if he called it, that's awesome, man. Rudy, ooh, nice. Delete scenes, yeah. So, but once again, it's nice to always cover the smaller movies because you want to recognize things that are out there. But Now we're going to get back on it, and we're going to cover something big and handy like Randy with the Warriors next week. So
You're getting back on
sleepover.
something big.
really big.
I watched that movie at a birthday party for a sleepover.
You have to
one day.
pick a great movie like that when I probably won't be able to make the show. You bastard.
I'm sorry, 70s. You'll have to chime in from your phone or something for 5
gotta
minutes.
get the
I
Wi-Fi
might try.
going.
I'll have my laptop with me. It's a timing thing, but I'll try.
They'll be like,
Even
who's
if-
this?
even if it's
Who's
a
this
few
guy
minutes.
talking about the Warriors on the plane? Yeah, what's going on?
Yeah. Well, I'll have the mask on.
All right. Anyways, to the chat once again, as always, thank you for coming here again, and always supporting. And the comments are great, and the comments are always get great insights from the chats. And I always love reading the scores. I appreciate the constant support. And yes, Clobbering Times Warriors is next week. That is the flick for next week. It is gonna be fucking fantastic to cover this legendary flick. So
Dude,
it's gonna be one for the ages per se.
Did
What
you
do
guys
wanna
just
say,
catch
Yeti
that?
Cast?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Sorry. He stuck out his chest to hit the truck. He like he wanted to make it look like it was so close that he went forward to hit it. Like he's hurting himself right now.
Nah, Clobbery, maybe it was. Let me
Right?
see if we got some room, we can get you on. All right, handy night, guys.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry, Nick. There, I was blown
Claudia.
away that he just puts himself in danger. and
Lobby
just-
can be my substitute.
Yeah,
man.
Clobby. Yeah, that's see. There you go, Clobby. You take that 70s' place. 70 will probably drop if he can drop in for a few minutes. We'll accept him, and then we'll let him have his piece. But yeah, Clobbering, come
Clobby
on,
is
and
an
join us.
acceptable substitute for me. I approve. I approve.
All right, there you go, Clobbering. If you got none next Tuesday, you're in. So yeah, that's our flick for next week. As I said earlier, thank you for coming on once again. Especially for those who come in here straight from Midnight's Edge After Dark, those who consistently support the channel. I saw a few new faces as well. Thank you for subscribing. And also thank you for those who also funded to the Stream Elements tip jar. You know who you are. Brian, RC, I appreciate you guys. Very generous donations on both of your behalves. And, well, to those who I will see in the future. And Mr. Tickle Trung, hail to you, sir. Thumbs up to you, man. Thanks for listening. I know you tell me that you listen while you're at work, so appreciate that, my friend. You be well. And we'll see you all next week for the Warriors. And before we do, though, we're going to give our boys on the panel one last chance to plug their channel. So we'll start with the man who's behind all the excellent visuals, Mr. Mark D with a C. And
Thank
also,
you, Nick.
we have
Appreciate
the
it.
channels in the description, but we'll post them in the comments as well. So yes, Brian, Rudy, thank you. Yeah. Hey, dude, stop. I'm just here to entertain. That's all I'm here for. But all right, Mark, plug your channel.
Hey, thank you. Yeah, thank you for another awesome night on Toxic Tuesday. As you can see, I like toys a little bit, so check out my channel, doing toy reviews. Sorry, I got a cough tonight. Thursday night I'll be on Clobbering Times, the Clubhouse, with him and Raquel Briggs, and I've got a Sunday night show, Sunday Night Geekery, which we talk about pop culture, hang out late on Sunday night, and just do reviews of toys and do a lot of 3D printing. Got my old Micronauts toys here, so I did a repair on that guy and some stand up a little bit better there, and so old toys and things like that. So I'm dating myself. I'm a 70s kid, but yeah, appreciate anyone subbing to the channel and checking out what I've got on YouTube. Thank you.
Awesome, yeah, and we'll like I said, if you don't see them in the description of the stream, we'll post them in the chat as well. So, all right, anyways, Mark, once again, for
Thank
you
you.
constantly bringing the visuals to Toxic Tuesday, you are a great man. Dare I say, a great friend as well. And I love that fact that I get to have you on, and you take
Appreciate
a lot
it,
of
yep.
time from your busy life. I know between being work, being a family man, and also owning toys, that's another responsibility too. And now running a channel, and then help carrying the show. Mark, guys, is
Thank you.
the
Appreciate
visuals
it.
behind it. So give Mark D a sub. He deserves it. He's earned it. He puts in the time. He puts in the work, and he knows also how to host and carry stream as well. And he's far better at making videos look more professional than me. It ain't even close.
No, don't say that. But
It's true. And yes, there's this channel right there. Give him a sub. And Mark, once again, dude, thank you. And I'll be seeing you soon, my friend. All right.
Appreciate that. Thank you.
And 70s, my
Hey.
friend. I'm gonna miss you next week, dude. But luckily,
Well,
I think
I'm
we'll have
trying
an
to-
acceptable substitute with Klobby. Should he take
Clobby
the
would be
spot.
great. Yeah, Clobby's a fantastic guy. Get him on. Persuade him to come on.
I will.
He's brilliant. Yeah, thanks again for a great show, buddy. Really appreciate it. Please, everybody, sub to all the other people on this panel. They've all got great channels. I do have a channel, That 70s Rock Fan, where I upload regular videos on stuff, music and science fiction, etc. I've also got a new weekly regular show of my own on Mondays at 2 p.m. Pacific called It's Only Talk and Roll. Nick did me the great honor of being one of my guests.
You're killing it, 70s. You're doing some great videos. So
So
sorry to
good.
interrupt, but yeah.
So good.
No, thank you. You know, tear in my eye. Also, if you get the chance, I have a second channel, That's 70s Rock Fan Radio, where I try to go against the YouTube copyright takers down and play some music till they strike me down. So please subscribe to that, and I pop up on there occasionally and play some songs, some rockin' songs. And yes, I may hopefully drop into next week's show, but if not, I'll see you all next time. And thanks to everybody in the chat for being here. We appreciate
Lock yourself in the
very
bathroom,
much.
70s with the phone. Yep.
Oh, it's shades of Die Hard 2 there, though. That's
There ain't even enough room for a laptop in the bathrooms.
I'll just take
I
the
know,
phone.
yeah.
He's flying over to England to push the English off his land.
Yeah,
He's going for freedom.
get off my land, you bastards. You Sassenachs.
All right, 70s. As always, man,
Cheers.
thank you. Cheers.
Thank you.
You are a great man, and of course, a great friend. And I cannot wait till we reunite. And like I said, if you can drop by for 5 minutes, dude, you are always welcome on here. And Rudy sees an epic vinyl collection, and this is now where we shift over to the Crow's Nest with the Jesse Miller.
Hi, how you doing? This looks like I have one of those phone sex numbers on. Are you
I believe it.
alone? No, well, anyway, I have a channel. Sometimes I run panels. I don't do enough of them. I should. I'm kind of addicted to video games, and I'm also on Mead, and I'm on here, and I could be on your show too for the low price of $4.99 a minute.
The world's least successful sexual hotline.
That's Rick Jarvis, male prostitute.
And then, yep, Jesse's channel, guys, right here. Give the man a sub. He's once again another great fun channel. Who unfortunately I don't get to be on enough with just to shoot the shit. But hopefully, I will clean up some time to show up and do exactly that and shoot the shit.
It's an all right place to hang out and talk about whatever you want.
Yeah, see, you heard the man. You heard it. Well, Jesse, as always, dude, thank you as always for taking the time to come on. Next week's gonna be badass. And
yeah, it is. It's Warriors is an awesome movie. The first time I ever saw Warriors, it was like halfway over. And then I saw it again from the beginning. And I was like, dude, this movie's fucking awesome.
So yeah, we'll make this another one for the ages. And thank you for being awesome, dude. Another great
You
friend.
too.
Yeah, thank you. You have a good, magical rest of your evening, sir. And guys, Jesse's channel is in the chat. And now for my buddy, our new buddy here on Toxic Tuesday, Impuritus. We will plug your channel in the comments, but go ahead and tell us about what you plan on starting up soon for your channel.
Looking forward to having some interesting conversations with people. I don't know how many straight videos I'm going to do because I have a tendency to ramble when it's just me. And that I can't edit worth a shit. So expect a lot of conversations about a lot of different topics. Me and Nick have talked about doing a couple of things. There's going to be some organized chaos, which will be good. Guys in this panel, there's some stuff I'd like to do with you. 70s mentioned it to you in a stream recently, actually.
That's right, sir. Yes, so we will do that. We will.
Looking to do some gaming content, some music content, talk a little bit about movies, a little bit of everything, a little bit about just everything that I'm into. Just be nice to have some conversations with people and get my ideas out to the world and some of my thoughts.
Kill it, dude. Hey, man, thank you for coming on. I appreciate you. You had great insight.
Anytime, man. Anytime.
there will be a time again, so we'll figure out that time and place. And I can't wait to see your channel get going, because you got a great voice and you obviously know how to carry a conversation. I can't wait to see what you got cooking, man. So thank you for coming on, and we will bring you back on sometime. All right, dude. Thank you.
Anytime. Thanks for having me. You guys the chat's been great. You've been great. The rest of the panel, all you guys are awesome. Great channels. Appreciate the hospitality.
Oh yeah. Hey, you're welcome here, man. All right. And last but definitely not least, the Yeti cast. This man also here, guys, has a video he's been pushing. You want to watch this video. I will emphasize on watch this video. Also, guys, Yeti Cast is officially going to be my editor for some videos going forward as well. And I will probably have something for him starting next week is when I have a funny idea that's going to be a great pitch. So
you're in good
Yeti,
hands.
well, yeah, thanks to Yeti, it's gonna be in very good hands. So Yeti, plug in your channel, tell people about it in case they're somehow not familiar.
Okay, well, first of all, I just want verification that the link was right for Imperatus, because I went to it. There's only 5 subscribers and no videos.
Yeah,
is that the right link?
Yes, sir.
Okay, well, I am a subscriber of yours now because you do have the voice for YouTube.
And the face for it as well. Then the face for radio.
Well, I wanted to make sure that was you before I plugged anything.
For a milk carton, boy.
No, I appreciate it, man. Thank you very much.
But yeah, go check out the video I have. It is the book of the Boba Rangers, like Boba Fett meets Power Rangers. I've got a follow-up video I'm working on right now. And after the show, I'm going to go do some toxic gaming with Mad Mardigan. So check out my channel in like the next few minutes.
You're going to get dragged down by that anchor again. Jeez.
Yeah, we're going to have a hardcore bro down.
Nice.
I'm scared.
Let's see.
You're playing on your channel or?
Yeah, my channel.
Yeah,
check out my channel. That's where the game is going to go down.
Toxic Tuesday raid on Yeti.
Make sure to set to extremely easy mode then. From
yes,
that, okay?
there's Yeti Cast's channel right there, guys. And also, before we leave, one last thing. I promise that now that we plugged in all the channels. Mr. Stephen Naughton at the deleted scenes for $1.99 says, "Good show. Thank you for the $1.99, sir."
Lad.
He is a great lad, always showing up in the chats, always helping out all the channels any way he can. And dude, I'm gonna have to get you on here sometime if you ever want to come on. Let me know, dude. I know we follow each other on Twitter. I'd be glad to have you on sometime. I don't know how soon I can do it, but let's definitely make it happen sooner, much rather than later. And chat, this is the end. Goodbye. Good fight. Good night.
Friend, the end.
This is the hey.